Hello and welcome to Dunkin' Donut Park in Hartford, Connecticut, over 100 miles from Cape Cod before the clock strikes noon. We welcome you to Cape Cod League Baseball here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz, and it's a special brunch edition of Cape League Baseball as the top two teams on Cape play off Cape in the home of the Hartford Yard Goats. The Whitey Red Sox are coming off a comeback tie against the Harwich Mariners. Whitey fell behind 5-0 and tied things in the seventh before falling behind again 7-5 in the bottom of the ninth, getting two more runs and securing a tie. The Red Sox will look for their first win over Hyannis this morning. Sam, the Whitey Red Sox have the game-winning run at third base, unable to get it home. Feels like that's been a common theme throughout this season. How do they make sure they come away with a win on the road in Hartford?
Well, yesterday is yesterday, Carlo. You got to look forward to today, and this is a game that's been circled on the Red Sox calendar all season. Off Cape, like you mentioned, we're all the way off Massachusetts. We're not even in the state anymore. We're in Connecticut at a minor league park, the home of the Hartford Yard Goats, a AA facility, and this is a gorgeous park and a gorgeous day for baseball. But this should be a fun one. The two top teams in Cape, who are only about 10 miles apart geographically at home, they come all this way for a pristine matchup. The two best teams on Cape Cod, two of the three teams with 17 wins. Hyannis, not Hartford, we're in Hartford. Hyannis going ahead of the Cotuit Kettleers last night with a win. They're a point ahead of Cotuit in the Western Division. The Red Sox, of course, still leading the Eastern Division by plenty, by 9 points. The Red Sox technically a slightly better record. They have one fewer loss than these Hyannis Harbour Hawks. So this is a key tilt and a tough matchup ahead on the mound. They get the all-star starting pitcher for Hyannis.
There'll be two all-stars on the bump for Hyannis going back-to-back. A Harbour Hawks team that is hot. They've won 4 of their last 6 games. In those 4 wins, 39 combined runs, and they also run a lot, stealing the most bases on Cape of any team, and it's not close. 71 stolen bases for Hyannis. Sam, how important is it for Eric Yost to control the traffic on the base paths?
It's incredibly important because this Hyannis team, similar to Cotuit at the very beginning of the season before they lost a lot of players to the draft, they will run whenever they get on base. You look up and down this Hyannis lineup: Mitch Jebb, Cole McConnell, Dominic Patelli, Riku Nishida especially, guys that will run if they get on base against you. And with a guy like Yost, he is a guy that gets the baseball in play. He won't walk you. He won't really strike you out. He will expect to get weak contact. The Red Sox defense has to be on their toes in this one, playing a tight defensive game to ensure that the Hyannis Harbour Hawks stay off the base paths. And Eric Yost, hopefully at the end of the day, has another strong 6+ inning start to keep the Red Sox in a ballgame.
And when you think about what these two teams have been through just this morning, nobody on Cape has woken up earlier than 5 o'clock. Both these teams had to be on the bus at 6. How important is it to try to wake the team up? Whitey could get some offense going in this first inning and maybe jumpstart a team that might be a little sleepy right now at Dunkin' Donuts Park.
Well, good thing we're in a place with lots of coffee in Dunkin' Donuts Park. I'm on my second coffee of the day. Caffeine is buzzing through my veins, and that's a good thing because this is about as early as I've been awake, I think, since high school, Carlo. I don't even know the last time I was up this early. We were up on the road at 6:15. Shout out to our good friend and writer, Mike Puzangera, who gave us the ride down to Hartford. But this team, these guys were up around 5:30. We talked to Grant Taylor before the game, asked him what his morning was like. He said that he got up at 5. Him and Fernando Gonzalez got in the car. They hopped over to the field, waited for the team bus, got themselves a Dunkin' Donuts for the road before the team bus left around 6:30, hit some traffic due to a traffic accident. They were about 30 minutes delayed getting to the ballpark. We did not have batting practice on field in this game, but they made use of the minor league facilities. They hit in the batting cages down in the tunnels. So hopefully they're ready. Hopefully they've had their caffeine and they're ready to play some baseball at 11 a.m.
Pull up your morning coffee, some sunscreen. It's time for brunch baseball here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. The top two teams on Cape battle 100 miles away from Cape here at Dunkin' Donut Park. We'll step aside and bring you back after for the national anthem here in Hartford, Connecticut. Whitey and Hyannis going at it after this. We welcome you back to Dunkin' Donuts Park as the Whitey Red Sox and the Hyannis Harbour Hawks battle for the third time this summer, and it's in Connecticut. These two teams will face off one more time in the final week of the season, and right now the top two teams on Cape, Hyannis defeating Cotuit yesterday by a score of 8-3, and for the first time all summer, the Cotuit Cavaliers are not the first place team in the Western Division, trailing Hyannis by just a singular point. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday morning with us. It feels like it should be the nighttime. We've been up since 6 a.m. Hope you didn't wake up that early. The Whitey Red Sox and the Hyannis Harbour Hawks getting set to go, and we are going to get set for the national anthem and be back with the lineups at the beginning of this one. First pitch coming up after the anthem. Dang, they got a center field thing. Not picking it up on the crowd. A beautiful national anthem here at Dunkin' Donuts Park as we welcome you to the third matchup of the summer between the Whitey Red Sox and the Hyannis Harbour Hawks, and the top two teams on Cape making the visit to Hartford, Connecticut. Let's get you the starting lineup for your Whitey Red Sox as they begin as the visitors here in Hartford. Homer Bush Jr. leads things off out of Grand Canyon. Cole Carey plays center field. He's batting second from San Diego State. Luke Schliger bats third out of Maryland. Brady Montgomery plays right field, and he is out of Stanford batting in the cleanup spot. 5-6, Kaden Connor from Cal State Fullerton, and Hunter Haas in the sixth spot, the shortstop from Texas A&M. In the 7 hole, it's Johnny Long, the designated hitter. Zach Liu bats third out of Cal State Fullerton. Gunnar Antillion in the 9th spot out of New Mexico State, facing Mag Cotto, a all-star starter for the Western Division. Only 2 innings today, according to the Hyannis broadcasters. And Sam, what can we expect from Mag Cotto?
Well, you're going to get a guy who's got some draft pedigree. In 2022, he was the number 41 overall draft prospect, according to D1 Baseball, for next year's draft, not this year's draft. The number 73 collegiate draft prospect by perfect game for next year, as well as the number 102 overall draft prospect for next year by perfect game. He is a high-energy left-hander heading to Connecticut after transferring from the University of South Carolina, and you will see a lot of fastballs. This guy from the left side, about 6'4", 245, gets that fastball up into the mid-90s where he'll sit there. You can see him occasionally get it up into the upper 90s, but for the most part, he'll sit 94, 95. One of the harder throwers that the Red Sox will see, especially from the left side all summer. Also has a good slider, a decent changeup. The feel for the off-speed pitches will come and go occasionally. So will his ability to throw strikes, but It's good stuff, Carlo. And the Red Sox should have their hands full against the guy who will start the All-Star game for the Western Division on Saturday. This is just a tune-up for him, though.
They'll have a preview of a couple Eastern Division players. Homer Bush Jr., Cole Carrick, and Luke Schliger all in the All-Star game. Carrick and Schliger starters. Here's the right-handed bat of Homer Bush Jr. as we start a brunch baseball matchup between the best teams on Cape. First pitch from the lefty, and the right-handed bat of Bush takes a strike. Fastball on the outer edge, 94 on the radar. No balls and one strike. The lower bowl full of younger fans. Looks like camp kids. 0-1. Bush swings and misses. Another high fastball at 94. Quickly in the hole. No balls and two strikes. The sun is out. It's about 89 degrees here in Hartford. Only supposed to get warmer. Cotto's 0-2. Fastball misses well away. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Homer Bush Jr. YD in the red tops. YD on the right side of the uni in navy blue, outlined in white. Numbers on the back in blue, outlined in white. White pants and a stripe down the side. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Homer Bush Jr. sees 4 fastballs and strikes out swinging. First out by Cotto is via the K. And here's Cole Carey. Meanwhile, for Hyannis, it's the pinstripe uniforms. Hyannis across the chest in script, cursive, orange Hyannis. Numbers underneath the NIS on the left side of the uni. And camo hats here today on a hot morning. Gonna have to get used to that. Switch hitter batting from the left side. From the right side, excuse me, Cole Carey digs in. Bounces the bat off the right shoulder. Blonde hair flowing out of his helmet. First pitch home. And he swings and hits one up the middle into center field. A base hit. Cole Carey continues his hot hitting streak. He's aboard with a knock. And there's one on with one out. Here's Luke Schliger.
Just a good piece of hitting by Cole Carey, doing what he's done all season long, is staying up the middle of the field, pushing it that way. As a left-handed hitter, usually to center field and to the opposite field as a right-hand hitter, when he's got a little bit more power, trying to hit the ball harder, trying to hit the ball on a line drive there, getting one up the middle of the diamond. A nice piece of hitting by Cole. And the Red Sox will have a chance in the first inning to make some waves with his ability to steal bases.
Left-handed bat of Luke Schliger looks on. Carrick leads at first. 15 stolen bases. His third on kick. First pitch from Cotto. Schliger fights off a fastball back to the screen. And the count, no balls and one strike.
You think about the base stealing. Carrick's got those 15 steals. Jorge Corona behind home plate has only had 8 chances to throw out opposing base stealers. He's thrown out 3 of them. So in a limited sample size for Corona, this is just his 6th game with the Harbor Hawks. He has made a difference behind the plate against opposing base stealers.
Schliger stands in, tucked in stance, and Cotto steps off. He wants to run through the signs. The top 3 base stealers on Cape Cod are here in Hartford, Connecticut. Riku Nishida, who's playing second base, leads the Cape. And then at third, Mitch Jebb is second on the Cape. Carrick with a large lead at first. 0-1. Fastball at the knees for a strike. Home plate umpire Ruby Fernbach calls that strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. No score. Top of the first. Tim Reiner is at first. Jeff Merzel, who's playing up the middle with a runner at first, is the third base umpire. The all-star starter for the West. Atop the mound, Mag Cotto in an 0-2 count against Luke Schliger. Carrick leads at first. The pitch home. Carrick not running. Schliger takes a fastball away. 97 on the radar gun. In the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mag Cotto lighting it up in front of a full lower bowl.
Well, if he's only going about 2, maybe 3 innings as we expect, why not? Why not empty the tank a little bit with those fastballs? Mostly 93s to 95s, but that 97 there, showing off some of his ability to gas that fastball up. Doesn't have to conserve to pitch 5-6 innings in this game for Hyannis. This is just a tune-up for the All-Star game, making sure he's available to start that one for the West. So why not leave it all out on this Hartford mound?
Cotto set to the belt. He exhales, looks at first. Steals 1-2. Schliger swings, hits one sharply up the middle. Gobbled up by the shortstop Patelli. Flips to second for 1. Nishida's turn, not in time. They get the lead runner in Carrick. Schliger beats it out on the fielder's choice. 1 on and 2 out. Riku Nishida tried a leaping throw off the bag at second. The ball was in the dirt, and the first baseman, Philip Matula, could not dig it out. We'll get you the rest of the lineup quickly. You've met the infield. Danny Corona is behind the plate. In left field, Jorge Corona is behind the plate. In left field, it's Christian Moore. Center field, Cole McConnell. In right field, Mike Sirota. That's the defense for the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. And in stands, Braden Montgomery, the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty Coda. Schliger at first. First pitch out. Fastball low. And the count 1 ball and no strikes.
That last play there on Schliger, that was some really nice defense by the Harbour Hawks. Obviously the nifty flip, but even just the positioning. They had Schliger played up the middle, and that ball, had they had a more standard defense, would have been a base hit for Luke.
Schliger, a healthy lead at first. 1-0, fastball away. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. Sun is high in the sky here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Again, it's camp kids all around. Some fans in the lower bowl. There's a goat statue down the right field line. No score, top 1. The 2-0 with 2 outs, swing and a miss. Montgomery waves at a fastball, 94. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Inning started off with a Homer Bush Jr. strikeout. Cole Carrig singled. Luke Schliger grounded into the fielder's choice. Carrig was retired. Defense playing straight up against the ready Montgomery. Rests the bat on the right shoulder. 2-1, and he waves. Another fastball, this one at 96. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Healthy dose of fastballs from Kodo.
Well, if you got it, why not use it? Kodo has only thrown a couple of off-speed pitches. I've only counted 1, maybe 2 changeups. And not yet a single slider as far as I can tell. It's been all heaters, and it's been working.
2-2 down the hill with 2 outs. Schliger at first. Here it comes. Montgomery swings and misses. 97, and Matt Kodo is putting on a show in the high heat of Hartford, Connecticut. It is all speed downhill from the left-handed pitcher. We head to the bottom of the first. 1 hit, 1 left on. No runs come across for the Whitey Red Sox. Hyannis with the top of their lineup due up when we return. Welcome you back to Hartford, Connecticut at Dunkin' Donut Park. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz welcoming you into the bottom of the first inning. No score between the top 2 teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League, but we're playing off Cape in a special Cape Cod Classic. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks and the Whitey Red Sox scoreless. Bottom of the first inning coming your way. It's Mitch Jebb, Mike Sirota, Cole McConnell due up. After them, Jorge Corona, Pancho Ruiz, and Dominic Patelli in 4, 5, 6. And 7, 8, 9, Christian Moore, Philip Matula, and Riku Nishida. The righty Eric Yost, first pitch, swing and a miss. There's the fastball in the count. No balls and 1 strike. To the left-handed bat of Mitch Jebb.
Kind of a pretty stark difference, Carlo, in the two arms that we're going to see in this game, with Cotto coming out throwing 97.
0-1, fastball away in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Eric Yost only sits about 89 to 91, if that, and really relies on the ball moving around.
1-1 is a fastball in the dirt. He relies on his defense a lot. And so far, it's been effective for him. 2.42 ERA in 26 innings of work. Peeks over the top of the black glove. The 1-1, swinging a line shot into center field, a base hit. Mitch Jebb reaches on the first at bat of the day for the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. And the second best base stealer on Cape Cod is at first. 16 stolen bases for Jebb. Here's Mike Sirota, who has been the best hitter on Cape since putting on a Hyannis uniform. A guy who started the season with Brewster, played 11 games for him, hit .250. Just 1 extra base hit and just 1 game with multiple hits. Well, he's hitting .458 in a Hyannis uniform. 3 hits yesterday against Katuitt, including a home run. And the right-handed batter digs in with a runner at first in a scoreless bottom of the first. Yost kicks and deals. First pitch. Slider misses away. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes.
Red Sox trying to quiet down this hot bat of Mike Sirota, trying to avoid getting Siroted. As it's become a phrase on Cape Cod, you just got Mike Siroted when he does something loud against another team as a Harbor Hawk.
Jebb is running. Here's the 1-0. He stops. Throw to first, almost wide. Caden Connor, the first baseman, gloves it, ranging in foul territory. At second base is Gunnar Antillion. At short, Hunter Haas. Third, Zach Liu. Across the outfield from left to right, Homer Bush Jr., Cole Kerrigan center, Brady Montgomery in right. At Dunkin' Donuts Park, the Cape Cod Classic, and the two best teams on Cape going at it. Yost throws back to first. Back on his feet is Jebb. 16 stolen bases for Jebb. Second on the Cape, just ahead of Cole Kerrig, the center fielder for YD. Another throw to first. This time Mitch back on a head first slide. Mike Sirota out of Broad Channel, New York, the Northeastern batter who hit .326 with Northeastern this last year. Rests the bat on his right shoulder atop the pinstripes as more kids file in the lower bowl. A 1-1 misses well inside. There's the curveball in the count. 2 balls and a strike from Yost to Mike Sirota. Well, it really has been one of the more intriguing stories on Cape is the emergence of Sirota, Sam. Defense and double play depth. Jebb with great speed leads at first, hopping around. 2-1, fastball high. And the count, 3 balls and a strike. Nobody out, no score. Bottom of the first. Hyannis and YD facing off for the 3rd time this summer. And the Red Sox looking for their first win, tying the last matchup 5-5. They led that game 5-3 going into the 9th. And the Harbor Hawks were able to pick off 2 runs and come away with a point. Yost from the first base side. 3-1 fastball, catches the outside part of the plate. And the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 89 from Eric Yost. That's a fast pitch from the right arm for Yost.
Just about where he sits, Carlo. And
Jebb, a 2-step lead at first. Throwback that way. They almost had him. The ball pops out of the glove of Caden Connor and rolls up the first base line. Jebb was on his hop towards second as the ball came his way. And his 71 stolen bases this summer. They lead Cape. Mitch Jebb stole a base against Bourne. His last one back on the 17th. He was also caught stealing in that game. Another throw to first. He's back on a head first lunge. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. A leadoff single by Mitch Jebb. Mike Sirota, the 2-hole hitter, digs back in. A black helmet. He taps the back of the plate. Has a long sleeve underneath his pinstripe uniform and bright orange shirt, that neon Hyannis orange that ends mid-forearm. Bounces the bat off the right shoulder. Yost 3-2. Fastball, swinging a foul tip into the glove of Luke Schliger for the first down. A strikeout to Mike Sirota, and there's one on with one out. Sirota strikes out for just the 7th time as a Hyannis Harbour Hawk, playing in his 8th game. Here's Cole McConnell. Defense still in double play depth with Haas and Antillian. Antillian, who is starting his first game for YD. Down the right field line here at Dunkin' Donuts Park, it is 308. Down the left field line, we can't exactly see down the left field line. 388 to straightaway center. Left-handed bat of McConnell is a fastball that misses up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Where we're stationed is right past home plate, down the third base sign, and on the concourse level, which unfortunately cuts off our view for about 30% of left field. The good thing is Homer Bush Jr. is out there, who has the best speed on K. Jab at first, the 1-up. Swinging a foul tap back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on for Eric Yost, about to throw his 11th pitch of the inning.
And Jeb has been quiet over there. We haven't seen him try to run yet in this sequence ever since his leadoff single. Yost doing a good job of holding him on.
Schliger behind the plate has caught a third of base stealers. Here's the 1-1 and a big hack and a miss. Fastball at 80. Maybe the Kurt changeup, excuse me. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Eric has pumped a few 89s, so even though those look a little fastball-ish, I think coming in at 80, that's the changeup. We can't really tell depth too well, or the movement super well from our angle as we're off to the side here, but we're doing our best.
Jeb at first. Yost looking for back-to-back strikeouts. Instead, he'll throw to first. Caden Connor gloves head high, doesn't apply a tag. Jeb back on a head-first slide. All the kids in the stands are wearing different color shirts, some in tie-dye, some in yellow. I've seen orange, pink. I imagined a section off who's who as they fill the lower bowl. 1-2. Fastball misses up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 94 on the radar. Is that right?
If it is, Eric Yost just threw his hardest fastball that he's been clocked at all summer.
It might be before noon, but Eric Yost is caffeinated and ready. He peeks over his left shoulder, looks at first. Jeb leads. Then bouncing around a lot. Throw to first. Mitch Jeb barely gets back. He was leaning towards second again. And Eric Yost has done a fantastic job of keeping Mitch Jeb close to the bag. 1 out, 1 on in a laborious bottom of the first inning. Blue skies, a couple clouds up ahead here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. 2-2, runner goes, and the fastball hits the right toe of Cole McConnell, who jogs down to first. On to second is Jeb, no stolen base for him. And now 2 on and just 1 out for Jorge Corona, the cleanup hitter out of Louisiana Tech.
Eric Yost coming off of consecutive really, really good outings for YD. His last one against Bourne, 6 shutout frames, allowed just 3 hits and a walk, but a bit of a tough start for him in this one, with 2 of the first reaching. And lots of speed aboard, and Jeb, who obviously has 16 stolen bases running on that one. McConnell's got 8 himself, and he runs well, so this is a situation where if the Red Sox aren't careful, Luke Schliger's got to pay attention, and Yost has to try to keep these guys on as best he can, because you could see Hyannis trying to pull off the double steal.
Right in bat of Corona looks in. Yost sets belt high, deals. Fastball catches the outer edge on the high side of the count. No balls and 1 strike. There are advertisements on the right field fence all around in between some seats. And above the upper level in right, advertisements across the board. A Budweiser sign in straightaway center. Up above the batter's eye here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Fans murmuring about the concourse. 2 on. Go ahead run at second. Snap back, throw to second. Antillian is back. The second baseman doesn't apply a tag and taps his arm a couple of times to relay the code to Eric Yost. Leadoff single from Mitch Jeb. Cole McConnell was hit by a pitch. He leads at first. No score. Hyannis and YD, the best teams on Cape, battling in Hartford, Connecticut. Both their buses left at 6:30 this morning to get here. Yost looks at second, 0-1 to the plate. There's the curveball, misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Party deck up in right center is full with fans. Not exactly party time.
Maybe a brunch party?
Some would say a darty. Back in the batter's box is Corona. Holds the bat, twirling behind his right ear. Yost looks at second, looks in. Does a double check. 1-1, fastball at the knees for a strike. 90 on the board from Eric Yost. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Eric is throwing as hard as he has all summer. A guy, Sam, who may be motivated by the All-Star selections. We thought he might have a chance to get in and was not chosen as an All-Star. Of course, with a couple pitchers being drafted. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. Fastball again, and there's strikeout number 2. Jorge Corona is retired via the K. 2 on, 2 out for Pancho Ruiz.
Well, Eric's not had more than 5 strikeouts in a single outing this summer. He's got 2 as his first 2 outs in this outing. A good start. Still got to get through this test to try to strand these runners aboard. Pancho Ruiz can hit a little bit, but you're right, Carlo. It's been a lot of fastballs, and he's been up around 90 miles an hour and popped that 194.
Yost with 2 on and 2 out. First pitch to the righty, Ruiz is a fastball well high. The count 1 ball and no strikes. At second, leans jab, he singled. McConnell was hit by a pitch on his right toe. That earned him first base. Defense playing back, the outfield straight away. A big Dunkin' Donuts coffee above the scoreboard down the left field line. The flag's blowing out to right field. We're in Hartford, Connecticut. And Yost fakes a throw back to second. Back on his feet is Jeb. Pancho Ruiz from Tijuana, Mexico. Out of Mater Dei in Southern California. His last 2 games, he's 3 for 6. 3 of his 11 hits this summer in 58 at-bats. Coming against Cotuit and Orleans. He stands back in the batter's box, open stance. 1-0, fastball for a strike on the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Sam, not a quick inning for Eric Yost. This is about to be pitch number 20.
And he's really slowed down the pace as well after the leadoff single with Mitch Jeb and all of his ability to steal bases. Yost really made a concerted effort to slow his pace down to various times to make sure that the emphasis became keeping Jeb right where he stands.
1-1, swinging a foul back to the screen on a fastball. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes with Jeb at first, Jeb at second, McConnell at first. No score between YD and Hyannis. Round 3 of the summer between these 2 teams. Pancho Ruiz, who participated in the Mexican Pacific League in Culiacan as a youngster at the age of 17. His grandfather played in the same league back in 1966. Yost 2 checks at second, 1-2. Fastball well away. Schliger bluffs a throw to first. Caden Connor not there. And Luke looks a little frustrated. He sheds the mask. Maybe the catcher from Maryland thought he had the first base player, Cole McConnell. But Caden Connor was not back. 2 on, 2 out, no score. Bottom of the first on a warm morning here in Hartford, Connecticut. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday morning with us. 2-2, and a fastball hits the top of the screen behind home plate. There are some seats level with the playing field right behind home plate. Nobody's sitting in them. They have pads on them. Look like the expensive seats, Sam.
The home plate club, looks like.
I was not invited.
Didn't get the memo if we weren't.
2 on, 2 out. No score, bottom 1. We played 30 minutes of this game. Eric Yost trying to get through the first inning. This will be his 23rd pitch of the frame. He looks at second, and a balk. Eric Yost called for a balk. Jeff Merzell points towards Yost, puts his hands in the air. Jeb moves to third. He's 90 feet away. On to second goes McConnell. And now Pancho Ruiz, a chance to do real damage with one swing of the bat. 2 in scoring position, 2 out, a 2-2 count. In the bottom of the first, no score, Hyannis and YD. Need a big pitch from Yost. Stares in, glove pinned against his left hip, comes set, belly button high. He steps, 2-2. Swinging a number down the third baseline, trickling foul. About midway between third and home, it rolls towards the grass. Mitch Jeb was already halfway home. He passed that ball just as it left the bat of Pancho Ruiz, seeing the speed there from Jeb. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam, I think my favorite part of Dunkin' Donuts Park has to be the giant metal goat statue up above foul territory down the right field line. Very majestic.
Is that a goat, or what are we calling that? Is that a deer? A moose?
It could be a deer.
I think it's.
Is it a goat? That would be one big goat.
I don't think it's a goat, because goats don't usually have antlers like that.
True. 2-2. Curveball just misses away. And the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rudy Firmbach holds up a 3-2 sign. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jeb at third, McConnell at second. Yost trying to get out of trouble in the bottom of the first. Keep this game scoreless into the second inning as the top 2 teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League battle. 3-2. Half swing. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Tim Renner. Pancho Ruiz walks aboard. The bases are loaded. Here's the left-handed bat of Dominic Patelli.
So I have your answer.
Oh, please, please.
Not a goat. It is a stag.
A stag?
And it is the logo of the Hartford Insurance Company. Hartford, Connecticut is the insurance city, the insurance capital of the United States. The Hartford being an insurance company that was founded here. Their logo is a giant stag. So there you go. They put a stag in the ballpark.
Makes sense. Here's the first pitch to the lefty. And the changeup misses low. Count 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Jeb. At second, McConnell. At first, Ruiz. Eric Yost is about to throw pitch number 27 of the bottom of the first inning. No score. Thankfully, this game is not at Red Wilson Field, where we are on the Suns time. We spent 33 minutes in this first inning. 1-0. Curveball away. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Infield in slightly at the corners. Forces all around with 2 outs. This is a Hyannis team that is one of the better teams on Cape, hitting with the bases loaded. 261 average with the bases juiced. And now John Raiola wants to go talk to his starter, Eric Yost. And you wonder, Sam, if this is going to be the story for a lot of pitchers today because of the different schedule, the 5 a.m. wake up, the 2.5-hour bus ride, the 11 o'clock start. Nothing about this game is routine for creatures of habit.
Yeah, and you hope that Eric Yost got a good enough night's sleep last night. And hopefully he was able to have some semblance of a routine. Of course, the team got here a little bit later than they hoped to get here due to some traffic on the way in, but he hasn't been that far off in this inning. Obviously, the balk and the walk have kind of compounded things, but the hit by pitch barely grazed Cole McConnell. The leadoff single, nothing really you can do about that. Mitch Jeb with a nice piece of hitting to start the game. So he's lost the strike zone a little bit to these last hit, the last hitter and a half or so, but it's not like he's been that far off. He's got to settle in a bit.
Luke Schliger steps behind the plate after the mound visit. The Dunkin' Donuts Park logo painted behind him, behind home plate. Left-handed bat of Patelli looks on. Throw back to second. Did they get him off the bag? No! Oh, it was awfully close. McConnell was well off. And Hunter Haas, the shortstop, thought he had him. Applied the tag chest high. Yost was on his way to the dugout. John Raiola on his feet in that dugout for YD. Thought for sure that they caught McConnell. Instead, just 2 balls and no strikes to Dominic Patelli. Jeb guns down from third. 2-0. Fastball in the dirt. Bounces behind Schliger, who keeps it just close enough. Mitch Jeb threatening from third. 3 balls and no strikes. A walk would bring home the go-ahead run in the bottom of the first. No score, YD and Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks bringing their 6th batter to the plate. This is pitch number 29 for Eric Yost. Working from the first base side of the rubber, he toes the slab, stares in, hat covering his face on this warm day in Hartford, Connecticut. 3-0. Fastball down Broadway for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike. And now that I look at the Hartford Terrace above the Stag, that makes makes a lot of sense.
It's clicking a little bit.
Yeah, the Stags, also a mascot of Claremont McKenna. Fun fact for you.
Is that a California thing?
It is, yeah. Just had to put it out there. I've never been to Hartford, Connecticut, so I don't feel anywhere close to home. I've never been to Connecticut.
You're here now.
I am. Very tall insurance buildings and hotels. The skyline in right field. No skyline in left. Just low standing buildings and parking lots. Fans in the shadows here at Dunkin' Donuts Park as Yost steps off, especially in right field. Seems like the place to be. There's a little break in the advertisements, and a lot of youngsters are there. It's a hot day, a day for sunscreen and water. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-1 in a scoreless game. Ball 4, changeup misses low, and a run walks home. 1 hit and 1 run for the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. Everybody moves up 90 feet as the merry-go-round begins here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. On to third is McConnell, second Ruiz, first Dominic Patelli. He gets the RBI. And here's the 7th hitter of the inning, Christian Moore. That was pitch number 29 for Eric Yost. Right-handed batter in Moore out of Tennessee. Opening offering from Yost. Curveball misses above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. And we can't see the bullpen. It's past the left field fence, behind Homer Bush Jr. in left. Think the opposite of how Fenway Park is set up, just in front of the fence. 1-0, slapped into right field, a base hit. Rounding third, coming home is O'Connell. Pancho Ruiz rounds third. He dives to the plate, runs over Schliger, trying to get the baseball, and is safe. The throw was up the line. Schliger was trying to run towards it, and running right over him was Pancho Ruiz, who scores. Hyannis has a 3 spot in the bottom of the first. On to third on the play goes Patelli. At second is Christian Moore after his 2 RBI hit. And Eric Yost with a nightmare start in the bottom of the first. 3-0, Hyannis leads.
And Luke Schliger got absolutely barreled over on that play. There's not a lot that Pancho Ruiz could have done to avoid him as the throw took Schliger up the third base line, but as he tried to track that baseball down, he collided with the opposite number for Hyannis, and Scott Pickler is chatting with home plate umpire Rudy Fernbach, just saying, hey, is there anything that we can do about that? That can't happen. That puts my player at risk if he's in danger of getting barreled over like that. If Hyannis is just going to run around these bases willy-nilly, I don't think anything's going to change as Pick heads back to the dugout. But Schliger looks to be okay, but could have been a scary moment for YD.
Just the second hit of the inning brings home 2 more runs. They give Christian Moore a single on the play, advances to second on the throw. So he's at first. At third is Dominic Patelli, and here's Philip Matula, left-handed batter, with 2 outs. 3-0 Hyannis, bottom 1. First pitch to Matula, bounces in the dirt. On the curveball, Schliger slides to his right. And Sam, I don't think we've seen a start go this bad for a YD starter all summer.
Yeah, this has been a laborious, long first inning, and Yost has completely lost the strike zone, facing his 8th batter.
Stares in towards Matula, 1-0. Fastball misses low and in. He can't find anything. 2 balls and no strikes. We don't have a bullpen cam, but got to imagine there's action in that YD pen. The large white clouds with gray underbellies starting to block the sun on a hot day in Hartford. Cole Kerrigan, straightaway center, is rubbing out his arm, throwing his glove up in the air. 2-0. Fastball misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. First base is open for Matula. Rico Nishida is on deck. At third, Patelli. At second, Moore. 3-0 Hyannis.
in the bottom of the first. This is pitch 35.
There has to be action up in that bullpen for YD because you can't let Yost go too much longer if he's unable to get this third out. Throwing more than 35 pitches in an inning is starting to get into the danger zone.
3-0. Matula tinks. Ball 4. Misses inside. Fastball at 89. Loads him up again. That's the third walk of the inning by Eric Yost. And here's Riku Nishida heading to Eugene to become an Oregon Duck. The 9-hole hitter comes to bat in the bottom of the first with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 3-0 Hyannis leads YD.
Yost had just 6 walks total in his first 5 starts, has 3 in this opening inning. Uncharacteristic outing for Eric Yost.
Nishida, who's got hits in 9 of his last 10, hitting .342 over that stretch. Left-handed batter, stands in a compact stance in the back of the batter's box. Opening offering is a fastball. There's the strike, 90 miles an hour, next to the belt buckle of Rashida on the inside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. It's Patelli at third, Moore at second, Matula at first. And Eric Yost has been searching for that final out in the inning for so long. A 1. Changeup misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Sam, looking down at that dugout, it looks like YD does not have a radio connection to their bullpen. 2 outs, 3 on. Here's the 1-1. Fastball hit up the middle, loops into center field, a base hit. Carrick scoops it up in center. The throw home, the tag by Schliger. In time, they gun down Christian Moore. Scoring is Patelli. 1 run comes in on the RBI single from Riku Nishida to center as Carrick is able to get the runner from second, but Hyannis tacks on another. A long bottom of the first, 4-0. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks brush across 4. They lead over the YD Red Sox. We head to the second. Take a deep breath here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more. And Red Sox Baseball is brought to you by the Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists. The Cape Cod Vet Specialists offer premier emergency and specialty care for your pet when it matters most. Located in Buzzards Bay and Dennis, learn more at CapeCodVetSpecialists.com. That's CapeCodVetSpecialists.com. Carlo?
Thanks so much, Sam. It's been 45 minutes, and we have played 1 inning here at Hartford, Connecticut at Dunkin' Donuts Park. I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz as we welcome you back to what has been a laborious opening frame for Eric Yost and a new pitcher on the mound for the Hyannis Harbour Hawks to face Caden Connor, Hunter Haas, and Johnny Long, the 5, 6, 7 hitters for YD. It's Zach Volker, an all-star, one of 2 all-star pitchers for Hyannis. We saw Mag Koto to begin, and now YD faces the other all-star. 1.37 ERA from Volker out of Long Beach State. 19 2/3 innings. He struck out 14 and allowed just 3 earned runs. All of his earned runs, however, have come in his last 2 starts. We'll see if YD can trim the 3-0 advantage. The good thing, Sam, for the Red Sox, although Hyannis leads 4-0, it's early.
Very early, both in the day and in the game. Red Sox just batting for the second time, and Mag Cotto looked very, very impressive in his 1-inning tune-up for the All-Star game. I'm sure that they're thrilled that they don't have to face a left-hander throwing 96, 97 the rest of the way.
And instead they'll face the righty Zach Volker, who faces the left-handed bat of Caden Connor. 4-0 Hyannis. We begin the second inning as Volker works from the third base side of the rubber. He sets belt high, brings the glove above his head, looks to the left of it, kicks the pitch. Fastball catches the inside part of the plate. 91 on the radar. No balls and 1 strike. Volker rocking some elite facial hair. Looks like a goatee. Flow out of the back of his camo hat. He stands facing the plate. Comes set. His hips to the plate. The 0-1. Caden shows bunt. Bluffs it. Pulls it back. Takes the ball low. Changeup can't find the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Warm here in Hartford, Connecticut, above 90 degrees as we inch towards noon. An 11 o'clock start, the Cape Cod Classic between the top 2 teams on Cape in Hyannis and YD. 0-1 to the plate. Connor swings, taps one foul down the left field line for his souvenir. A couple of kids go racing after it. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Fans in green and yellow shirts. It is Kids Day here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. So groups of fans all in color-coordinated shirts hanging out. Sam, I know you were a camp counselor for a long time. It looks like there's a lot of camps around.
Yeah, certainly a Northeast thing. I guess the day camp baseball game trip is a bit of a tradition. My camp out in Rockland County, New York, would go to Mets and Yankees games about once a summer, and it was always an early start, about a noon start time when we would go to those games. We were there close enough to the city to make that happen.
1-2 to Connor. And he swings and pace one down the left field line, hooking towards foul territory. Left fielder Moore gives it a look and watches it land.
So this reads to me like a bunch of local camps having an outing to the ballpark.
I was a camp counselor once for the YMCA. Most exhausting job I've ever had in my life.
Oh, yes, Carlo. I did 4 summers as a day camp counselor with boys between ages 6 and 8. I am well aware.
1-2 down the hill. Caden swings, slaps one up the middle. The shortstop Patelli ranges to his left, gobbles it up, throws across the diamond to first. Caden Connor down on the ground out as Zach Volker retires the first batter he faces. And with 1 out, 4-0, Hyannis leads YD. Here's Hunter Haas.
Red Sox came back from a 5-run deficit in the early stages of yesterday's game. Still lots of baseball left. Really no clue how this one's going to play out. Lots of time. Obviously, you want to start chipping away as soon as possible, but just keep working quality at bats and hitting balls hard.
Opening offering to the righty, Hunter Haas. And he swings and misses. Chases a changeup in the count. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out and the base is empty. 4-0, Hyannis with 2 hits and 4 runs in the bottom of the first. We're in the top of the second. We're at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Sam Lebowitz got his Dunkin' Donuts pregame. Here's the 0-1 down the hill. Hunter Haas looks at a slider for a strike on the outer edge. No balls and 2 strikes. Sam, we're at Dunkin' Donuts Park. You got Dunkin'. Does it taste better?
It's a good Dunkin'. Okay. Dunkin' I find to be a little hit or miss sometimes, but this is a good Dunkin'.
All right. I'm going to have to try it out. Volker's 0-2. Fastball well above the zone. 92 on the radar gun. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'm a big coffee drinker as it stands, but, you know, it feels like a win in Rome situation, Carlo. We're in a place named after a coffee brand. I might as well get a coffee.
When in Rome. Volker's 1-2. Haas swings, rips one down the left field line off the netting foul. Looked like another changeup from Zach Volker. This is a Hyannis team that is hittable. A team ERA that sits in the bottom half of the Cape. But a Whitey Red Sox offense that once again, in back-to-back days, find themselves down in 4-run holes before the 5th inning. 1-2. Swings and misses at a slider and strikes out. There's the first strikeout for Zach Volker. It's the second out at the top of the second. 4-0 Hyannis leads. And in stands Long Beach State against Long Beach State. It's Johnny Long.
Always interested to see who has the advantage in these matchups between college teammates when they square off in a summer collegiate game, because a hitter like Johnny Long might know the scouting report on a pitcher like Volker and be able to expect what might be coming in. But Volker, I think better than Long, knows how to get Long outs.
First pitch to the righty, Johnny, is a slider away. 1 ball and no strikes. The flag's blowing strong out to left. There's a huge scoreboard down the left field line. It is massive. Maybe a building wide. An umbrella sign in right center field where some blow-up playthings are. 1-0. Long takes. A changeup below the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, bases empty. Top 2, 4-0. Hyannis leads YD. The top 2 teams on Cape Cod battling 2.5 hours off Cape Cod. 2-0. Long takes a fastball away. 3 balls and no strikes, and maybe Volker being a little more cautious to his dirtbag teammate. Of course, I don't mean that in a vulgar way. The Long Beach State team is nicknamed the Dirtbags.
A Zach Volker way?
Got to cover your bases. Volker's 3-0 down the hill. Long looks at ball 4. Slider misses off the edge. Johnny Long doesn't have to swing the bat. He rests it on the right shoulder the entire time. Works himself aboard. And we'll see if the Whitey Red Sox can mount the 2-out rally of their own. Hyannis scored all 4 of their runs in that bottom of the first with 2 outs.
Feels like word's starting to get around the league that Johnny Long could hit baseballs a long way, because he's been taking his walks lately. He's got walks in now 4 of his last 5 games, with that one in his first plate appearance.
So righty Zach Lou looking for his first hit. See if he can get it off Cape. Volker deals. Lou takes. A changeup high. And now Jorge Corona wants to go talk to his all-star pitcher. Johnny Long not a base-stealing threat over there at first. And Zach Lou at a Cal State Fullerton in the Big West Conference with Johnny Long and Zach Volker. So here we are, 3,000 miles from the Big West Conference, and it's a Big West Conference matchup. Zach Lou has had 2 strikeouts in all but 1 game this summer. That was Brewster. And still without a hit. Did score twice yesterday after getting hit by a pitch twice. Never know if that's a pro, if a batter is proud of being hit by a pitch. Probably not. Shadow starting to creep across right field, barely coming in, covering the warning track. Light blue skies and bright white clouds here in Hartford. The 1-0 fastball at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. A runner at first, 4-0 Hyannis leads. Zach Lou, a Big West honorable mention. Holds the bat above his right shoulder. As it hovers, he bounces in the box. 1-1, fastball. Misses low. 2 balls and a strike to the infield out of La Mirada, California. Whitey Red Sox trying to peel away at the lead Hyannis built in the bottom of the first. A 2-out walk to Johnny Long. He leads at first. 2-1. Lou swings and misses. Chases a high fastball to count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gunnar Antillion is on deck out of New Mexico State, making his first start in a Whitey Red Sox uniform in his second day with the team. From the third base side of the rubber, rocking atop the mound is Volker. He kicks. 2-2. Swinging a hot shot up the middle. Nishida scoops it up, sliding towards second. The second baseman touches the bag to go the short way, and he'll jog all the way back atop the mound and rest the baseball next to the slab. That ends the top of the second. 1 walk, 1 left on. No runs come across as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Top of the lineup, due up here at Dunkin' Donuts Park, where the Hyannis Harbour Hawks lead the Whitey Red Sox by a score of 4-0. As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more. And if you hear high-pitched screams on our crowd mic here at Dunkin' Donuts Park, well, that's because they just had the t-shirt toss. Sam Lebowitz was up on his feet, waving his arms, giving a good effort. But no t-shirt, buddy. Maybe next time.
Well, our window's wide open. I was hoping maybe they would have seen me and thrown one to me through the window, you know. I'm experiencing this, same as the fans. This is the first and only time experience for us, Carlo, being here in the press box at Dunkin' Donuts Park. How often do we get to call a game at a minor league stadium for a non-minor league team? Obviously, it's once. The answer is once, but no t-shirt for us.
Left-handed bat of Mitch Jebb looks in towards Eric Yost, who pours in a first pitch fastball above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. 4-0, Hyannis leads YD. The top two teams on Cape Cod, battling 2.5 hours away from Cape Cod. 1-0, fastball, bunt by Jebb. He chops it foul back towards the screen. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 in the bottom of the first for Hyannis. We're in the bottom of the second. Mitch Jebb started things off with a single and an odd way around the base paths for Jebb. He went to second on a hit by pitch, to third on a balk, and came home on a walk with the bases loaded. He stands in the batter's box with the long sleeves on the hot day. 1-1, fastball high. 2 balls and a strike. Defense is in at the corners with Lou. Flags blowing straight out in left center. The Dunkin' Donuts large coffee above the scoreboard in left. 2-1. Jebb swings, rips one into right center field. Looking back, Braden Montgomery, he watches it bounce off the top of the wall. Jebb hits the bag at second, stops there. That was a high fly ball to right center, and it looks like that high wall in right just skipped off the top. It's a double for Mitch Jebb. He's 2 for 2.
That ball almost got out of here. And for a second, I thought maybe it had. We have the kind of parallel running of the top tier in right field, that almost like Citi Field, if you can picture where the Mets play their home games. There's that overhang where there's advertisements in front of the top deck. And I thought maybe it had banged off that scoreboard of advertisements that runs across that right field top deck and bounced back into play. But it looks like maybe it got off that high wall where the home bullpen is in right center field, rather than banging off the top post.
So a runner at second, and in stands the right-handed bat of Mike Sirota with the bright orange gloves. Yost looks back at second. Back on his feet is Mitch Jebb. Eric Yost has thrown 40 pitches through an inning plus. 4-0 Hyannis leads. Bottom of the second inning, nobody out. A leadoff double for Mitch Jebb, who's 2 for 2. His average back over 300.
And he doesn't have a home run this season, but he came awfully close.
Yost opening offering. Fastball well above the zone, but Sirota has to duck as that ball almost skims his helmet. And you think about a ballpark like Red Wilson Field, Sam, that ball's gone. I mean, it was high off the advertisements in right. The fence at Red Wilson is not very high.
Yeah, that certainly would have left. By the way, it looks like Matt Cavanaugh's up in the bullpen for YD.
Ready on ready, Yost 1-0. Slider for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sirota struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Lower bowl full of fans chugging on Dasani waters that they sell here at the park for $6. Ballpark tax is real. Sam Lebowitz has one. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball, hot shot up the middle. Hunter Haas diving to his left. The shortstop gets to it, but from the seat of his pants has no play to first. He keeps Jeb from rounding third and coming home. It's an infield single for Mike Sirota. Hunter Haas almost a spectacular play. 2 on and nobody out, and the struggles continue for Eric Yost. Runners to the corners, 4-0 Hyannis, with the Harbor Hawks looking for more in the bottom of the second. Here's Cole McConnell.
Got a left-hand hitter here. I think the Red Sox are trying to figure out if Matt Cavanaugh is warmed up fully. It's pretty clear, if it wasn't already, Eric Yost just doesn't have it today.
Left-handed bat, and McConnell was hit by a pitch, came around to score in his first at-bat. Bottom second. McConnell stares in. Opening offering from Yost. Fastball misses away. Snapback throw to third. Gets away from the third baseman, Lou. Up the left field line. Scoring from third is Mitch Jeb. On to second goes Mike Sirota, and the wheels are falling off for the Whitey Red Sox. It's 5-0 Hyannis. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. See how they marked that. The throw from Schliger was just across the body of Zach Liu, and Mitch Jeb was right in between them. And so Liu couldn't go through Jeb. And so the ball just trickled up the line. Runner at second, the 1-0. Fastball misses high. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes, and Matt Cavanaugh starting to speed up that warm-up down the left field line. 6 a.m. bus ride, and the Whitey Red Sox have run into a headache here at Dunkin' Donuts Park, trailing the Hyannis Harbour Hawks 5-0 on a hot morning. 2-0, foul ball off the screen down the left field line. That was headed right towards us.
We've got the windows open. I paused for a second as if to prepare to catch that baseball. But we do have the netting in front of us, so.
So you're saying if a ball comes, I can back up and say Sam Lebowitz saved my life?
I think that he would have to. I don't think it's possible for us to get a ball. With the net as high as it is behind home plate, I don't think we could possibly get one.
Unless it's off a ricochet, off the seats, it's really the only way. Runner at second, the 2-1, ripped down the right field line, foul.
Would have to be a impossibly high arcing pop-up, I think, that would somehow slide into the open windows.
There's no air on the board after the Schliger throw.
There should be.
So
should be an E2 all the way.
All right.
On Schliger.
Well, we'll let the people at Dunkin' Donuts Park off for a second. Runner at second is Sirota, 2-2 to the plate. Changeup misses off the edge to lefty McConnell, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Eric Yost trying to find some sort of rhythm. With the leadoff double by Jeb, a single from Sirota on the infield, and Jeb came home on the E2. Sirota went up to second. Cole McConnell, the 3-hole hitter out of Louisiana Tech, stares in, stoically in the box. Throw back to second. Tag applied by Haas, not in time. Back on a head-first slide is Mike Sirota. Bright orange gloves for Cole McConnell. A Hyannis team that with a win today would be the best team on Cape, which is amazing because a season ago they started 1-18. The turnaround incredible. 3-2, swinging a hot shot foul down the left field line underneath Eric Beatty, the manager for the Harbor Hawks, who said in an interview with Reed Becker that part of the reason they've been so successful this summer is the team culture, and guys are having a lot of fun. And you can see that. Philip Matula, who bats 8th, was out of the dugout trying to jeer the fans sitting behind the dugout for Hyannis, trying to catch some shade. Lower bowl filling up. 3-2, chopped left side. Zach Liu on one hop, looks to second, throws to first. Caden Connor gloves it head high, sprinting to third and sliding is Mike Sirota. On the throw, he takes third base, moves up 90 feet, 1 out on the ground out by Cole McConnell. The infield comes in with a runner at third. Here's George Corona, who struck out swinging his last time up. Looks like the Red Sox will try to get Yost through this bottom of the second. 5-0 Hyannis leads. 1 out. Harbor Hawks coming out and punching the Whitey Red Sox in the mouth here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. First pitch to Corona. Right-handed batter swings and misses through a high fastball. 90 on the radar. No balls and 1 strike. Jorge hitting 200. He's just 3 for 15. Taking a walk in 3 straight games. A guy who spent last summer in the NECBL. 0-1. Fastball low and off the outer edge, just above the dirt. Luke Schliger snares the baseball, the catcher, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike.
This feels like a really pivotal at bat because you have the runner on third. Obviously, 5 runs are already home. If Yost can get the second out on the board, this would be huge.
1-1 is a fastball above the zone. Schliger springs up out of his squat. And they count 2 balls and a strike as fans clap their hands here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. A group of fans are in right field, just above the wide E dugout. Or I should say in foul territory down the right field line. 2-1. Change up, misses away. 3 balls and a strike. At third leads Sirota. It's 5-0 Harborhawks. And it looks like their camp counselors, Sam, doing a good job to keep them cool. They were spraying water on them. Camp counselors, one of the hardest jobs during the summer, no doubt about it. Yost sets, 3-1, swinging a ground ball left side, gobbled up. Lou can't handle it. The third baseman only bats it down, and scoring from third on the plate is Sirota. On to first goes Jorge Corona. It is now 6-0. The Hyannis Harborhawks lead in the bottom of the second, and Scott Pickler's seen enough. Pancho Ruiz will face a new pitcher for the Whitey Red Sox. We'll step aside here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. The Hyannis Harborhawks are up 6-0 on the Whitey Red Sox in the bottom of the second. We welcome you back to Whitey Red Sox baseball. We're 2.5 hours from Red Wilson Field at Dunkin' Donuts Park, and Matt Kavanaugh has come into the game for Eric Yost in what was a nightmare start for the Northeastern right-handed pitcher. He gives up 6 runs on 6 hits. It's responsible for the runner at first in Corona, and Kavanaugh makes his 7th appearance out of the pen. The left-handed sidewinder, Birdman is his nickname. He faces Pancho Ruiz. 6-0 Hyannis leads YD. Bottom of the second, 1 out. First pitch, slider for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Going to see a lot of sliders from the long-haired Kavanaugh. who works from the middle of the rubber. He's got to be hot with all that hair, Sam.
I think everyone's hot, Carlo.
Kavanaugh's 0-1 down the hill. Slider again. This one misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pancho Ruiz with Jorge Corona at first. Defense playing double play depth. And the Whitey Red Sox have spent more time in the field than they have at the plate. This game is on pace to go 6 hours. Buckle in. 1-1. Kavanaugh deals a fastball, popped up behind home plate. Schliger trying to look for it. Coming in from first is Caden Connor. He calls everybody off and makes the catch for out number 2. Pop up to the first baseman. Good job by Caden Connor. Luke Schliger shed the mask, Sam. He didn't look like he had any shot at that ball.
Don't think he really saw much of it, Carlo, but Caden Connor saw it all the way and did a nice job to really hustle in from first base and get there.
So runner at first with 2 away. Kavanaugh looking for back-to-back outs. He faces Dominic Patelli, who picked up an RBI walk, which was the first run of this game. Back in the bottom of the first, we're in the bottom of the second. Closed off, stands for the Birdman. He kicks and deals. And the left-handed batter takes the ball low. The count, 1 ball and no strikes. Looks like the change from Kavanaugh. Partly cloudy out in the sky. 40% humidity, above 90 degrees in Hartford, Connecticut. Kavanaugh, 1-0. Slider, Anthony's on the inner edge for a strike. Front door, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Patelli. Hitting .255 is Matt Patelli. He's got 10 multi-hit games in his last 14 played. He did not have a multi-hit game in his first 14 games played. So swing of the bat better as of late. Kavanaugh is 1-1. Look out, Slider misses on the inner edge. And the count 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. And Jorge Corona at first. 6-0 Hyannis leads YD. The best teams on Cape Cod going at it. This could be a championship matchup. YD Red Sox hoping to play a little better if it is. 2-1, fastball away. First fastball from Kavanaugh. 3 balls and a strike to the lefty with 2 outs. A lot of water being passed around. The students, camp counselors, all in their colored shirts. 3-1. Fastball misses inside. On to first goes Dominic Patelli on the walk. He walks for the 2nd time. And for back-to-back innings, Hyannis sends the 7th batter to the plate of the frame. It's Christian Moore, the righty from Tennessee. On to second goes Jorge Corona. Hyannis trying to add to their 6-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd. And Sam, unlike Red Wilson, we have to play all 9. There are paying fans in the seats. You don't have to pay at a Cape Cod League game, but you do here at Dunkin' Donuts Park.
There's really no respite for the Red Sox. You got to get through these 9 innings no matter how ugly this gets. Obviously, you want to prevent it from getting any uglier, and then you want to start chipping away. Still early enough in this game that you can come back, score 6 runs of your own, but it's incumbent upon Kavanaugh to get out of this frame without any more damage and get this place to a place of comfort for the Red Sox.
Righty McConnell, check swing, takes a strike. First pitch slider from Kavanaugh. At the count, no balls and 1 strike with 2 outs, 6-0. Hyannis leads YD. Christian Moore, 1 for his last 14. Coming into today. There's the 0-1. And he half swings at a slider. Did he go? Yes, his first base umpire, Tim Reiner, ranging his right arm in the air. And now Christian Moore takes his time, steps out past the dirt onto what looks like darker, not stone dust, maybe more gravel behind home plate. There's actually a path from the on-deck circle to home plate for the batters to walk. Don't see that often. 0-2. Swinging a curling foul up down the right field line, and it lands on the concourse. Look out. Bounces a few times, and a couple kids go racing after it. Did a kid make a catch? He did! One kid in the second to last row above the Whitey dugout made a catch with a glove. Well, how about that?
Nicely done, off the carom.
There you go. Somebody's happy. 2 on, 2 out, no balls, 2 strikes, 6-0 Hyannis. Christian Moore, who increased his RBI total 50% last time, looks at an 0-2 and swings and misses through it. A slider from Kavanaugh, a strikeout to end the 2nd. Another long inning for the Whitey Red Sox. 2 come across on 3 hits, 2 left stranded. 6-0 Hyannis. We head to the 3rd. This game slow moving here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Well, hello from Captain Parker's Pub over in West Yarmouth on Route 28. The entire crew from Captain Parker's wants to give a big salute to Cape Cod baseball, especially the young players that have dedicated so much time and effort to baseball, America's pastime. So, join us for lunch, dinner, or just a bowl of our world famous clam chowder. Captain Parker's, easy to find, awfully hard to leave. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz, our producer Danie Oestreich, as we welcome you into the 3rd inning here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. 6-0. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks have crossed the bridge, come 2.5 hours to Hartford, Connecticut, and punched the Whitey Red Sox hard in the mouth as they lead as we begin the 3rd inning. The Cape Cod Classic here at the home of the Yard Goats, which has got to be one of my favorite mascots, Sam. What a beautiful park this is. Named one of the best parks in minor league baseball in 2021, and you can see why. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's plenty of activities around the park, blow-up, bouncy houses, pitch clock. They have literal pens of goats in left center field if you want to go check those out if you're ever here at the park. And a giant stag in right center field. 9-1-2 due up against the new arm. It's the righty Austin Strickland out of Kentucky with a 6.6 ERA in 7 games of action. He deals to the righty Gunnar Antillian, who looks at a first pitch strike on the outside part of the plate. 93 on the fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Strickland sets at the belt from Winchester, Ohio. 0-1 in the dirt. Fastball steps in. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. The fans are mostly campers. A lot of them hanging out in the shade on the concourse. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack on the changeup from Gunnar Antillian. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Antillian making his first start. Came into pinch hit yesterday, was 0 for 2 with a walk. A guy who hit .373 at New Mexico State. And crossed paths with Scott Pickler 2 springs ago. He spent the 2021 season at Riverside Community College, which plays in the same conference as Cypress Community College, where Pickler coaches. 0-1. 1-2, excuse me. Swing and a miss. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Antillian strikes out. And the first strikeout for Austin Strickland. As the lineup card flips, here's Homer Bush Jr., who struck out his first time up. 6-0 Hyannis, top 3. We took 45 minutes to get through the first inning. So far, it's been 40 minutes through the second. Opening offering to the righty, Homer Bush Jr. is a fastball low, 95 on the radar gun, 1 ball and no strikes.
Strickland, I'm sure, is going to be asked to provide some length for Hyannis.
1-0, Bush rips one on a line right at the shortstop Patelli for out number 2. You were saying, Sam?
The longest he's gone in an outing this summer is 4 innings. That was in his first outing, which was a start back all the way back on June the 17th, over a month ago. And since then, the longest he's gone in an outing was 3 innings back in Wareham on July the 1st. Has usually gone about 2 2⅔. Those are his last 2 lengths.
Here's a switch hitting Cole Carrick batting from the left side. He observes a first pitch breaking ball low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Top 3, 2 outs, bases empty, 6-0 Hyannis. 1 out. Carrick taps one foul on the fastball. He knocks it to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hyannis and YD facing off for the 3rd time this summer. Hyannis won the first one in an odd game that included an umpire leaving because of a concussion. And then the 2 teams tied the second game. 1-1, swinging a pop-up down the left field line. Back over behind us on the press box. It bounces off the top level. No one sitting on the top levels in Hartford, Connecticut at Dunkin' Donuts Park, and you can't blame them. Not exactly a pleasant place to be with the hot sun bearing down. 11 o'clock first pitch. It's 12:21 local time. 1-2, misses off the outer edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cole Carrick, who has a stained right pant leg. He signaled his first time up back in the first, sliding into second on a ground ball at the middle from Schliger. He was gunned down. Black sleeve on that left arm. Here's the 2-2. Carrick looks at a changeup high. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and the base is empty. 6-0 Hyannis leads YD. Carrick hitting .352 in his last 4 games. 3 hits yesterday. He's got 5 in his last 2. Bouncing the bat off the left shoulder. 3-2. And he swings and taps a fastball back to the screen. Spoils that pitch and stays alive. Another 3-2 offering coming his way. Carrick with blonde hair that pokes out of the back of his helmet, brushes the top of his traps. High pulled socks. He adjusts the helmet, taps the plate, stands deep in the box, a wide stance. Strickland's 3-2. Ball 4 misses low and away. Changeup can't find the zone. Second 2-out walk delivered by the Hyannis pitching staff. And here's Luke Schliger, the left-handed batter, with 1 on, 2 out, 6-0 Hyannis leads. You feel like, Sam, this YD team, just 1 hit today. They need a big hit, maybe a home run, an extra base hit, something to get them going. We talked to a lot of the guys on the YD team. They woke up at 5 a.m. to get to the bus. These are tired eyes, caffeinated here at Dunkin' Donuts Park, looking for a spark. Carrick leads at first. Lefty Schliger looks on. Opening offering, Luke takes a changeup for a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike.
I think you're right, Carlo. They just need someone to tear into a baseball and put something up on the scoreboard. They haven't had a hit since the first inning. Obviously, that feels longer ago than it actually is in terms of the game, because this is only the 3rd inning.
0-1 to Schliger, and he swings and misses through a fastball. No balls and 2 strikes. Cole Carrick is 3rd on Cape in stolen bases. The guys in front of him are playing 2nd and 3rd. 15 for Carrick, 16 for the 3rd baseman for Hyannis, Mitch Jebb, 20 for the 2nd baseman for Hyannis, Riku Nishida, who plays deep in the dirt in the gap in right. 0-2 runner goes, swinging a foul back to the screen. Schliger just gets underneath a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It goes straight back. In the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And Sam, you've talked about before, being just underneath a pitch like the fastball can be a good sign for a hitter.
If you foul something right back to the screen, that usually means you're right on it. You just got to make a slight adjustment and hope you can barrel it up next time if you get it again. But Schliger, that indicates that his timing is right where it needs to be.
Carrick at first. Let's see if he's running. He's not. 0-2. Schliger pace one down the left field line, curling into foul territory, and awaits another 0-2 pitch. This will be the 15th pitch of the frame for Austin Strickland. He started with Mac Cotto, then Zach Volker, now Strickland.
On our 3rd pitcher of the day already in the 3rd inning. And you'd love to see Schliger get himself aboard, give Braden Montgomery a chance to cut into this lead. We saw the home run power yesterday from Braden.
0-2, Carrick running. Schliger swings and misses through strikes 3 and strikes out to end the inning. 1 walk, 1 left on, no runs come across. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Hyannis leading the YD Red Sox by a score of 6-0. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. MP Sports Cards is proud to sponsor the kids' baseball clinics. If you're a sports card collector, be sure to stop by and check out the latest releases, graded cards, supplies, and more. A local favorite for hobby enthusiasts across Massachusetts, and of course, your Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in our store, mention code Red Sox to get one free pack of 2022 Topps Baseball exclusive. Update with any purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit us at 71 Main Street in Carver, Massachusetts, or online at mpsportscards.com. We're a long way from Massachusetts, here in Hartford, Connecticut, a 2.5-hour drive from where the Whitey Red Sox call home at Red Wilson Field. Bottom of the third coming your way. It's 6-0. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks lead the Whitey Red Sox. Matt Cavanaugh on the mound after giving up one walk and picking up a strikeout to clean things up in the second inning. 4 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and the Hyannis offense that has scored 39 runs over their last 4 wins, still dominating. As the umpires down the third base line are talking it over with what looks like one of the heads of the ballpark. Sam, what do you think this conversation could be about?
I think it has to do with the heat and the weather. They've all got water in their hands, and they're talking to a couple of yard goats. I think stadium employees can't help but think that one of them perhaps could be a trainer of some kind. Can't see the logos on the front of their shirts, but one of the 2 employees that the umpires are talking to could potentially be a Harbor Hawks employee, a trainer, making sure that the umpires are staying hydrated.
It is warm, 92 degrees here, but with humidity feels like 98, and somebody's going to grab a walkie-talkie. We might be looking at a break in this game. We'll see. Imagine we're going to play, right? I don't think they would stop action. Now Scott Pickler is going to go get talked to by Tim Rayner. Why not? We've had an hour and a half and played just 2.5 innings of baseball. And now it looks like people want to take more time.
One of the umpires is heading down into the tunnel.
I think we might be getting a new home plate umpire. I think this might be Rudy Firmbach is not feeling well. The trainer just grabbed a cold towel, goes and hands it to Firmbach, and we might be getting a new home plate umpire.
I think we're going to get a break. The Red Sox are coming in off the field.
All right, more pause here at
Something about these Red Sox in Harbor Hawk home games and umpire delays.
Hope you didn't have plans after this. It's an hour and a half of baseball. We're taking a break in the bottom of the third. Getting a new home plate umpire. Rudy Firmbach gets a nice cold towel on the back of his neck, sipping on some water, and it looks like Jeff Merzell is going to be a replacement ump. 6-0 Hyannis midway through 3. We'll step aside. You're on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. We are still in intermission here at Hartford, Connecticut, Dunkin' Donuts Park. Home plate umpire Ruby Fernbach, we're being told, is going to go play third. He is dealing with a little bit of a heat problem. It feels like 100 degrees. It is about 98 outside. And Sam, if you look at the concourse, this Yard Goats team has been put to work. Right now, there's jugs of water everywhere for kids to grab. There's refillable water stations. Kids are hanging out in the shade. And you get youngsters in the high humidity. It is not a great thing for them. And so everybody trying to stay cool, trying to stay hydrated. You got to give props to the Yard Goats for what they've been able to do here. And it looks like Jeff Mersell is going to be our new home plate umpire. We'll keep updating you as we move along, but hopefully looking to resume soon. Hyannis leading the Whitey Red Sox 6-0 as we get set for the bottom of the third. We're back here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz. And if you missed us, well, baseball is about to resume. We have a new home plate umpire it is Jeffrey Merzel. Up the first baseline will be Tim Reiner, and it looks like Rudy Firnbach is not coming back in this game. The home plate umpire was struggling with the heat. It's 98 degrees here in Hartford, Connecticut. Both these teams and probably the umpires, Sam, had to travel 2.5 hours to get here for an 11 a.m. start. Can't imagine Rudy had much time to be hydrated, so he is going to step aside, and we are going to play with 2 umpires. Bottom of the 3rd inning. If you haven't been with us, this has been quite the mess for the Whitey Red Sox, as it looks like we have a new catcher behind the plate. It's Fernando Gonzalez for Luke Schliger. We'll see if we see any more defensive changes, but that looks like that's it for now. Mitch Jebb started with a single. Yost struck out Sirota, then hit McConnell, then struck out Corona. He had 2 outs and 2 on. And then everything fell apart. Walked Hunter Reeves, walked Dominic Vitale, Christian Moore, a 2 RBI single. Riku Nishida had an RBI single. Matula walked. 9 came to the plate, 4 came across. It was 4-0 Hyannis, a 45-minute first inning. We breezed through the top of the second, got to the bottom of the second, and it was more of the same. A double from Jebb, a single from Sirota. Jebb came home on an E2. McConnell grounded out. Johnny Corona singled to score Mike Sirota, and then Patelli was walked. After coming into the game, Matt Kavanaugh was able to settle things out, and this is where we stand now. Philip Matula getting Let's Go Philip chants. He has become a local favorite, especially from the fans above the Whitey dugout and right, all of them wearing green shirts, clapping Let's Go Philip. Matula, Nishida, and Jebb due up. The 8-9 one-hitters, 6-0 Hyannis, who begin the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch from the lefty, Kavanaugh, is a slider that misses above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. And if you're the Whitey Red Sox, Sam, a little bit of an opportunity here to retake momentum. Hyannis had all of it, but that disintegrates with the umpire change and the break.
Well, I am, Sam. Nice to meet you, Carlo.
1-0, fouled in on the hands, back towards the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. If you're Sam Lebowitz, an opportunity to recharge, get some water, refocus.
That's exactly what I did, because I'm taking over for you in the next half inning as we try to reset. It feels almost like we're starting a fresh ball game, which the Red Sox, I think, would gladly take, given the way this one has started.
Can we wipe the scoreboard, too? Here's Kavanaugh's 1-1. Fastball ripped it down the right field line, a base hit. Matula with the long blonde hair digging for second. Montgomery digs it out of the right field corner. Throw in on a hop to the shortstop, Hunter Haas. And Philip Matula with a double to begin the 3rd inning. It may feel like a new ball game, but the same old for the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. They continue to hit the Whitey Red Sox in the bottom of the 3rd. 6-0 Hyannis, a leadoff extra base hit for the lefty from Louisiana Tech.
Well, actually, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe it does feel like the same ball game, because another leadoff hit for these Harbour Hawks. They've had leadoff hits in each of the first 3 innings now. Leadoff doubles in the last 2. Just more of the same. The Red Sox cannot find an answer against this Hyannis lineup so far today.
Lefty Nishida shows bunt, pops up his bunt down the 3rd base line. Lou charging, he makes the catch. The 3rd baseman in foul territory. Maybe that changes things for YD. A pop up into foul territory by Nishida on the bunt attempt, and 1 pitch and 1 out for Matt Kavanaugh with Matula at second. Lineup card flips. Here's the lefty, Mitch Jebb.
It's a king-size first out for Kavanaugh, because you really cannot afford to allow the Red Sox to fall any deeper into this hole. And getting Nishida to pop that bunt up is a huge first out, especially because it prevents that run from moving over to 3rd with less than 2 outs.
Kavanaugh looks at second, looks back home. First pitch, Jebb bounces one, first base side, pounce over the first baseman, Caden Connor's head, down the right field line. Matula jogs home, throw in from the right fielder Montgomery, cut off by Haas. On to 3rd goes Mitch Jebb. A triple down the right field line, add an RBI. Jebb is a home run away from the cycle, and he scores Philip Matula. It is now 7-0 Hyannis in the bottom of the 3rd with 1 out.
And it looks like there's going to be an error on that play. That is as tough an error as you can hang on Caden Connor, because that ball took a hard hop off the infield and caromed right towards his noggin before bouncing over. And he had to duck out of the way of that ball because he was never going to get his glove up to it the way it took off on him. It looks like a tough error if it is indeed an error.
Right in at bat of Mike Sirota. Takes the first pitch, fastball for a strike. No balls and one strike. I don't think you can mark that an error, Sam. That ball hopped up and got right over the head of Caden Connor. It'll be interesting to see. Chris Toms leads the stats of the Cape Cod League. I'd imagine he's going to take a look at that, probably mark it a hit. At third is Jeb after his hit down the right field line as the 0-1 slider misses away to the right-handed bat of Sirota.
The Red Sox have 2 errors on the board, and I only can think of one off the top of my head, but on the game live feed, that has been called a triple.
Okay. So maybe just the scoreboard doesn't match up with the game live. 1-1. Slider in on the hands, popped up behind home plate and foul.
And Mitch Jeb is on cycle watch. He's got 3 legs in the first 3 innings. A single to lead off the first, a double to lead off the second, a triple to score a run here in the third. That double, he didn't miss a home run by a lot, but Jeb, who does not have a home run so far this summer, in his next at-bat will come a round trip or shy of the cycle.
Infield is in for the righty. And the 1-2, slider misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike Sirota came from Brewster to Hyannis and is hitting .450 in his short time with the Harbor Hawks. This is his 8th game. It is 92 degrees, feels like 100 with the humidity. The Yard Goats, the host here at Dunkin' Donuts Park, doing a great job getting everybody water. 1-2, 2-2, excuse me, fastball high. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Mike Sirota. 7-0 Hyannis. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Leading at third is Mitch Jeb after his RBI triple. Kavanaugh sets, closed off stance, belt high. He exhales. 3-2 to the plate. Fastball, swinging a high fly ball into center. Carey going back. The center fielder can't get it. He reaches out, loses his hat, tracks it down on the track, digging for third. Sirota racing there, standing, scoring from third is Mitch Jeb. Back-to-back RBI triples. And the Hyannis Harbour Hawks are beating the brakes off the Whitey Red Sox. It's 8-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. We have not seen an implosion of this magnitude by this Whitey team all summer. The best record on Cape, and the Hyannis Harbour Hawks are just 2 points behind them right now, dominating here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Here's the lefty, Cole McConnell, runner at third, still just 1 out. Infield is in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch. McConnell takes a slider that doesn't slide and misses above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. On a hot day in the shadows of hotels and business park buildings here in Hartford, Connecticut, 2.5 hours from Cape Cod, it has been all Harbor Hawks. 1 out. Slider pasted down the left field line, hooking into foul territory, making the catch, the left fielder Homer Bush. He guns one to the plate, and scoring on his feet is Mike Sirota, tagging from third. Homer Bush Jr. got to the baseball for the 2nd out. Mike Sirota comes home, another 3 spot. And it is 9-0 Harbor Hawks. There's no mercy rule. We're in the bottom of the 3rd.
Credit to Hyannis, when they've gotten runners aboard, they've scored them. 8 hits through 2 2/3. And anytime they've gotten a runner into scoring position, they've brought him in.
Righty Jorge Corona looks towards the lefty Kavanaugh. First pitch, misses away. 1 ball and no strikes on the slider. 2 outs, 9-0 Hyannis. We are in the bottom of the 3rd. We have nearly played 2 hours of this game. And it could not have gone worse. 1-0. Fastball misses above the zone, says Jeffrey Merzell, who didn't start as the home plate umpire in this game. because Ruby Firmbach had to leave. He was feeling the heat. Literally. It's about 100 degrees here. Feels like it. 92 on the temperature. 2-0 down the hill. Slider popped fouled on the left field line over towards the on-deck circle of Hyannis, where Pancho Ruiz is getting warm. And Sam, we talked that the Harbor Hawks were hot in the beginning of the year. They're climbing on to it. They lead the Western Division for the first time all summer today. But after this performance, here's the 2-1 from Kavanaugh. Swinging a line drive right at the shortstop. Antillion, who leaps and makes the catch to end the frame. Feels like Hyannis is legit. After 2 hours, Sam Lebowitz will take you through the middle of this one. 4, 5, and 6. It is 9-0. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks smoking the Whitey Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network.
Fans, have you ever thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Szymanski, the Salty Dog Group, is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at the Keller Williams Group of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for home buying and selling. Call Emily Szymanski at 508-221-0196 or visit saltydoggroup.kw.com. That's the saltydoggroup.kw.com. We're in the fourth, and it took a while to get here. And if you are just joining us, you missed a lot. First pitch to Braden Montgomery, a strike at the knees from Austin Strickland. Well, first of all, we're playing baseball in Connecticut today, here in Hartford, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are laying a beating on the Red Sox. The 0-1 is low and away from Strickland and Montgomery, 1-1. The scoreboard in your top right corner doesn't lie to you. It's 9-0 Hyannis as we begin playing the fourth. 1-1 is rolled to the right side. Matulia over to his right, race to the bag. He beats Montgomery for the first out. And Philip Matulia, who has made a lot of fans here in Hartford, continues to get cheers from the young fans beyond the Red Sox dugout down the first baseline. Obviously, Matulia playing first base.
Well, Sam, we're on pace for a 6-hour game.
Now, the Red Sox have not really contributed to that because they've only had 3 base runners through the first 3 innings and not more than 1 in an inning. Here's Caden Connor to bat. Only 1 hit for the Red Sox through the first 3 frames against 3 different Hyannis pitchers. The first pitch to Connor is low and in. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the right-hander out of Kentucky, Austin Strickland. Caden Connor hit a ground ball up the middle to the shortstop his first time. 1-0. And misses away, and a count 2-0 on Connor. Hyannis scored 4 against Eric Yost in the first inning. Got 2 more in the second, and 3 against Matt Kavanaugh in the third. 2-0. Fastball strike at 91. In the middle of all that, we had a umpire delay, had to switch umpires. The home plate ump that we started this game with, Rudy Firmbach, was dealing with a touch of dehydration. 2-1, rolled up the middle, a base hit for Caden Connor. Got one past the mound, a sharp grounder at fine center field. A 1-out single for Caden Connor as the Red Sox trying to turn the vibes around, get something cooking against the Hyannis reliever Strickland here in the fourth.
You can't get it back all at once, that's for sure. Down 9-0, so you just hope the string hits together.
Got to chip away, Carlo. That's the name of the game. Playing in a minor league facility, the AA home of the Hartford Yard Goats at Dunkin' Donuts Park here in downtown Hartford, Connecticut. At the Cape Cod Classic, Strickland from the first base side of the rubber deals to Hunter Haas and misses outside a slider. 1 ball, no strikes. Haas went down swinging in his first at-bat. That was against Zach Volker. Hyannis used the first 2 innings as tune-ups for their 2 all-star pitchers. 1-0, misses low. The count 2-0 on Hunter Haas. Mag Cotto, the left-hander out of Kentucky, went the first inning and looked outstanding. Fastball touched 97 at a pair of strikeouts, worked around a single. Zach Volker worked a quick second around a walk. Strickland has been in ever since. 2-0 is pulled foul towards the Hyannis dugout by Haas. And the count 2 balls and a strike. The only game that the Red Sox will play in a non-Cape Cod venue this summer. Cape Cod League hosting 2 games this summer in minor league facilities. This is one of them. 2-1. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Throw back to first. Connor dives head first back into the bag. Another game later this week at Polar Park in Worcester, home of the Woo Sox, the AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. I believe that's Wareham and Bourne.
You're correct.
The 2-2 fouled off. Johnny Long to follow, who makes a nice catch on that foul ball after it hits off the netting behind home plate and caroms softly to him.
Got to get aboard if you're Hunter Haas here. Start to move the line for YD. Pick up 2 in this frame and go from there. Hunter's been struggling as of late. He's 2 for his last 31.
Looking to get off the Schneid and start a rally. 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. He got him. A slider running down and away from Haas. He chased it for strike 3. And Hunter Haas has twice struck out in his at-bats today. It's the second out. Caden Connor supplanted at first. And Johnny Long, who walked his first time, will take the swings.
And you have to imagine with the heat here, Sam, and how much time these fielders have spent on the base paths, they have to be feeling really tired. It is barren.
First one along, misses low. Strickland's been falling behind in this inning, but has been none the worse for wear. As he's working with 2 out and just a runner on first. Outfield straight away on Johnny Long, the team leader in home runs with just 3. Strickland sets at the belt, blue glove in hand, and the 1-0 is a slider that drops in for a strike. We're coming at you from one of the broadcast booths in the press box. Behind home plate off to the third base side. 1-1. Swinging a foul right back to the screen. Polar Park plays a little hitter friendly, especially for the left-handed hitters. It's only 308 down in the right field corner. However, it is a fairly high fence, goes about 15 feet high. Got to clear it for a homer. 1-2. This is low beneath the knees, says the new home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel. In left, it's a little more straight away. And in center, there's a large About a 30, 35-foot high fence that acts as a backdrop and a batter's eye for the hitters. 2-2 to Long. Swing and a miss, he got him. A slider. Strickland picks up a pair of Ks, works around a one-out Caden Connor single, and moves us along to the bottom of the fourth. It's a 9-0 Hyannis lead here on the Red Sox Radio Network. Redshirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops and first responders who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Whitey Red Sox and all Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Redshirt Fridays is sponsored by Zephyr Hats, the Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and first responders by joining the Red Sox and wearing red each Friday. Well, if you're outside, we hope you found shade and water, cold water, because the temperature here in Hartford at Dunkin' Donuts Park only reads 92. That's a little generous because the real feel is 99. And Matt Cavanaugh back out on the mound for the Red Sox to kick off the fourth. Pancho Ruiz, the DH, and a fifth hole hitter for Hyannis. First pitch to him, a changeup that misses away. A 9-0 Hyannis lead here on the Cape Cod Classic. The Red Sox and Harbor Hawks traveling off Cape to Hartford, Connecticut for a one-time game as the 0-1, or the 1-0 rather, is swung on and missed. A good slider by Cavanaugh. Ruiz followed by Dominic Patelli and Christian Moore as Cavanaugh looks to settle this game down. 9 runs in the first 3 innings for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who took over the Western Division from Katuitt last night in a win over the Kettleers. And now not really looking like they're going to give it back. 1-1 is right back to the mound on one hop. Matt Cavanaugh snags it chest high, runs to the mound, runs to first base, flips to Keaton Connor in time, 1 away.
That is the first time today that YD retires the first batter of an inning. So maybe a good sign for the Red Sox, who will try to keep Hyannis off the base paths.
Cavanaugh now gets to work on Dominic Patelli, the left-hand hitting shortstop, after Ruiz grounds out on the comeback. Patelli has twice been up and has twice walked. First one in the dirt, a slider. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Eric Yost started this game and struggled, to say the least. Gave up 4 runs in the first inning. Was not really in command. 3 walks, a hit against him in that first inning before the runs started coming in. 1-0. This is low. A bases loaded walk to Patelli started the scoring. Christian Moore, the on-deck hitter, had a 2-run single. Riku Nishida singled home the 4th run of that first inning. 2-0. Popped foul and out of play. And the Red Sox really have not done much to dispel any notions on the offensive side that this is going to be a blowout loss for them. 2 hits through the first 4 frames for YD. And Cavanaugh trying his best to keep his offense as close as he physically can. The 2-1. This is away a slider. And close as he can is not really particularly close in a 9-0 game. He gave up 3 runs of his own in the 3rd inning. Consecutive triples by Mitch Jebb and Mike Sirota. The big hits in that frame. The 3-1. This is away for ball 4, and once again, for the 3rd time today, Dominic Patelli reaches on a walk. Even though this game has not gone in the Red Sox favor so far, we do get the honor of broadcasting at this beautiful minor league facility. Gorgeous green grass all around the outfield. In center, stripes cut into the outfield grass, heading towards the center field fence. The first pitch is swung on and missed by Christian Moore. A single, 2 RBIs, a strikeout. It's cross-checked, the pattern on the grass in left and right. Heading towards the right field and left field fence straight away. Cross-checked as well on the infield. A beautiful tan dirt infield surrounds it. 0-1. This is low and in. Behind home plate, the Dunkin' Donuts logo imprinted in the grass. Behind home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel says Dunkin' Donuts Park. There's a coffee cup next to it in the classic green and pink Dunkin' Donuts logo. 1-1. Moore swings, grounds one to short, could be 2. Picked up by Hunter Haas, gets 1. Relay to first is in time, a double play. Nice feed by Haas, nice turn by Gunnar Antillian to send us along to the 5th. The quickest inning on defense for Whitey all afternoon. Much needed for Matt Cavanaugh. On to the 5th we go, 9-0 Hyannis on the Whitey Red Sox Radio Network. Giardino's Family Restaurant, a Red Sox and Cape Cod tradition. Same family, same location for 52 years. Giardino's is part of the community, giving back to many and various organizations. As part of the recognition, the Yarmouth Little League Field is named in memory of their dad, who founded the business in 1970. Giardino's is a family-oriented operation serving a wide range menu, sure to please everyone. Give them a try, you will come back. 242 Main Street on Route 28 in West Yarmouth. Top of the 5th, Zach Lou leads off and takes the first pitch high from Austin Strickland. Hyannis all over this one. A 9-0 lead as we enter the middle frame. Lou, a right-hand hitter. 0-1 to him is lifted in the air. Pretty well hit out towards right center field. McConnell cutting over into the gap and makes the catch on the warning track in front of the home bullpen in right center field. Lou gives one a ride. Still hitless as a Red Sox. He's the first out in the 5th. Brings up Gunnar Antillian. Antillian, a strikeout victim his first time. Austin Strickland has been strong in relief for Hyannis. Took over in the 3rd. First pitch to Antillian, a swing and a miss, a high fastball. Hyannis treating this game as a warm-up of sorts for its 2 all-star pitchers, Mag Cotto and Zach Volker. 0-1. Taking a strike, a fastball. To the New Mexico State infielder, getting his first start for YD, playing second base today, Gunnar Antillia. 0-2. Taken low, slider. Both Cotto and Volker each pitched a scoreless frame in the first and second. It's been all Strickland since, and he's looked good. 0-2. Tipped foul over towards the Red Sox dugout. Watch out. Homer Bush in the on-deck circle having to evade that one and caromed off the back wall of the Red Sox dugout. It looks like everyone's okay. Two is chopped up the middle, softly hit. The shortstop Patelli fields, quick feed to first is in time. 2 up and 2 quickly set aside for the Red Sox. Out of the 8 and 9 spots here in the 5th inning. And Homer Bush, who hit one hard as last time, lined out sharply to shortstop, will hit with 2 out and nobody on. Bush, a right-hand hitter, working on a 6-game hitting streak, an all-star for the Red Sox. First pitch to him is swung on and missed out in front of a curveball. Haven't seen a lot from Austin Strickland, mostly fastballs and sliders, but he slowed that one down at 77 miles an hour. With his blue glove, he deals out of the windup, 0-1. This is down and away.
Just looking for something to come away with this game with, Sam, but not many positives.
1-1. A fastball, a called strike over the outside corner. The count 1-2 on Bush. Carlo, frankly, there haven't been any positives. Beyond Cole Carrig having a single and a walk, he's in the on-deck circle. The Red Sox have barely showed up to play today. 1-2, up and in. Bush has to spin out of the way to evade it. That one came up towards his shoulders, and the count 2-2 on Homer.
And it doesn't get easier. Tomorrow, the Red Sox welcome in the Katuitt Cavaliers.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Chopper towards second. Nishida charges quickly, throwing to first in time. Bush set aside at first on a ground ball as the Red Sox done in order here in the 5th. We're moving a little quicker through these middle innings here in Hartford, Connecticut. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks, or Hartford Hawks, if you will, today lead the YD Red Sox 9-0. Hey business owners, is your website generating the leads and sales that you want it to? If not, contact Devidyne, the official web development company of the YD Red Sox. Devidyne offers a comprehensive website audit that will identify ways to improve your site and increase your ROI. Check out Devidyne.com to learn more. Bottom half of the 5th. We're halfway through effectively here at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut, at the Cape Cod Classic. And the only thing classic about this game is that the Red Sox will want to forget it, because through the first 4, it's been all Harbor Hawks. 9-0 your score as we start play in the bottom of the 5th. Philip Matulia, you can hear the chants, has made a lot of friends at this ballpark tonight. He will lead off against Matt Cavanaugh to kick off the bottom of this 5th. An 11 a.m. start time. We moved at a snail's pace through the first 3, hence why we're a little after 1 o'clock, and it's just the bottom of the fifth. We had about a 15-minute delay because we needed to change umpires in the field when original home plate umpire Rudy Fernbach was unable to continue umping this game because of the heat. It's about 95 degrees here in Hartford. Matulia, the left-hand hitter, against the left-hand pitching Kavanaugh, back out there for YD. His first pitch is swung on and fouled softly back to the net. No balls and a strike. Because of the early start time, here in the middle of the summer, a lot of local camp children came out to the ball game today to see some of the finest collegiate talent that you'll find in the country. And a group of them specifically, with Matulia, the Hyannis first baseman, the group of fans back of the Red Sox dugout down the first baseline, he's made a lot of fans. 0-1, check swing foul, again back to the net, 0-2. There's a slider from Kavanaugh. These fans in particular are dressed in neon green t-shirts to denote which camp they come from. We've had a whole bunch of groups come. There's some in pink, there were some in blue, and some in tie-dye shirts as well. But some fans, some groups have already left because of the slow pace in this one, the hot weather, perhaps needing to get back to their camps before the end of the camp day. 0-2, taken away, a fastball. But the ones in neon green behind the Red Sox dugout cheering loudly for Philip Matulia, who has made a lot of friends today. A 1-2 count, left on left here to him from the tall, lanky lefty out of Nova Southeastern. 0-2, misses high, a fastball. On at 87 from Kavanaugh. Matt came in with one out in the second for Eric Yost, who, suffice to say, he did not have it today. Yost had been excellent in his last few outings, but charged with 6 runs over an inning and a third. 2-2. Swing and a foul tip held by Fernando Gonzalez for strike 3. Matulia down swinging. And the friends he's made at the ballpark today, a little disappointed perhaps that their long-haired blonde buddy has to walk back to the dugout empty-handed.
Second strikeout for Kavanaugh. We'll see if that can push him forward to a 1-2-3 frame. You wonder where Scott Pickler goes after Matt, but so far he's been able to settle down the hot Hyannis offense.
Providing innings for a Red Sox team that needed him after Yost couldn't provide any length today. Here's Riku Nishida, another left-hand hitter. This one rides up and in. Nishida down into a crouch to evade it. 1 ball, no strikes. Can't really see the bullpen from our angle, not well at least. Doesn't look like there's anyone throwing for YD. A few people milling about beyond the left field fence. We're at a weird angle here. The press box here in Hartford is about 20 feet down the third baseline and elevated. 1-0. Fastball inside, didn't miss by much. 2-0 count from Kavanaugh. The way that the press box is situated, the left field corner is kind of cut off from our view. Even if we peek our heads outside of the window, still not the easiest angle for us to see the action down there. And that's where the Red Sox bullpen is. 2-0. Nishida puts one in the air, flies out. The Red Sox had him played, swung around to the opposite field and very shallow. And he almost tried getting one over Bush's head. It's the second out of the inning, and it brings up Mitch Jebb. And here's an at-bat you circle a little bit, because Mitch Jebb has had a loud day out of the leadoff spot for Hyannis, another left-hand hitter. A single to lead off the bottom of the first, a double off the fence in right center to lead off the second, and then in the third, against Kavanaugh, he tripled down the right field line. If you catch my drift, that's 3 of the 4. First one, 2, misses down. So, if Jebb could put one up in the air, you think perhaps he would have a chance at a cycle here in the 5th inning. He may still yet get another at-bat in this game, but he's a home run shy of what would be the second cycle on Cape Cod this summer. Matt Shaw of Bourne did it earlier this month. That's 1-0, misses away.
And Shaw's cycle was the first cycle in Cape League history since 2011.
You could have 2 in 4 days.
He did that back on the 17th. The first cycle since June the 18th of 2011 when Richie Schaefer did it for Chatham. 2 balls, no strikes to him. Might get a pitch to hit here. And he takes up and in. It's 3-0, and we'll see if Eric Beattie lets his leadoff hitter swing to try to pummel something over that tall right field fence here at Dunkin' Donuts Park as fans mill about.
Didn't have any home runs at Kenosha last summer. No home runs this summer, but 6 as a Spartan in the spring.
3 balls, no strikes. Here it comes. And it misses up and in for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. And if Jeb wants a cycle, he'll have to wait at least one more at bat. He reaches for the 4th time today.
If you get a single, a double, a triple, a walk, and a home run, is that like an extra cycle?
Not that I'm aware of, Carlo.
A cycle plus.
Here's Mike Sirota. Sirota took a big swing on one his last time and hit it over Cole Carrick's head in right center for a triple of his own. Hyannis hit consecutive triples off Kavanaugh in that 3rd inning, en route to scoring 3 runs. Jeb at first, a tiny lead. First one to Sirota is popped foul and out of play. In a 9-0 game, you don't expect Jeb to try stealing a base. Don't really need any more runs on the board, at least for now, and it's against the so-and-so unwritten rules of baseball to steal a base at this point in the game. A 1 misses down and in, the slider.
Where do you stand on that, Sam? Should Jeb run?
I don't think you need to steal bases. I think that the unwritten rules about swinging 3-0 when you're up a lot of runs are tomfoolery. I don't think that they have much of a point. They'll check on him at first before a 1-1.
A lot of controversy in the Giants organization early in the MLB season for stealing bases, bunting when they were up big, and kind of talked about it as a staff, and they just said, teams can come back. This is a sport.
There's no clock on this sport. 1-1 misses well away. Fastball. Of course, the San Diego Padres were embroiled in a fair bit of drama about that in 2020 when Fernando Tatis, their young star, hit a grand slam on a 3-0 count in a blowout game, and the Texas Rangers threw at Padres hitters in the next game, or rather right after the grand slam. 2-1. High fastball, on the count 3-1. Likewise, we saw something of an unwritten rule broken the other day in Brewster when Connor Markle was lifted after 5 no-hit innings, and the leadoff batter of the 6th inning to the new pitcher, Alex McFarland, dropped down a bunt for a bunt single to break up a no-hit. 3 balls and a strike. Kavanaugh engages the rubber. Jeb at first with 2 out. The infield shifts to the pull side against Mike Sirota, the right fielder, who's got a single and a triple today. The 3-1 is ripped off of Kavanaugh, picked by the second baseman Antillian. His throw to first is in time. Whoa! A line drive that I think got Matt Kavanaugh on the mound, or maybe just got past his glove. Looking at the replay here, we've got the feed up here in the broadcast booth. Gunnar Antillian picked it on a short hop down to his pants and throws out the runner at first. We're done here in the bottom of the 5th. 6th inning coming up. We'll be right back. Back here in Hartford, Hyannis all over this one over YD. It's 9-0 as we enter play in the 6th inning. And the middle of the Red Sox order will bat. Cole Carrig will hit against the right-hander Austin Strickland. Carrig followed by Fernando Gonzalez and Braden Montgomery. Gonzalez in the game for Luke Schliger, who started this game, batted twice. First pitch to Cole Carrig, misses down and in. Top 6, 9-0 Hyannis. We're playing here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Sam Lebowitz alongside Carlo Jimenez, our producer Danie Oestreich, here in Hartford, Connecticut, in the Cape Cod Classic. 1-0 to Carrig is rolled up the first baseline and foul. Carrig's got a single and a walk today, the lone Red Sox player who's reached in both of his at-bats. Coming at you from the home of the AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies, the Hartford Yard Goats, getting to see their very, very personable ballpark. A lot of energy around this yard. 1-1. It's a changeup that drops in for a strike. A lot of personality, Carl.
A lot of personality, and wherever you sit, it feels like you're on top of the field. It's a very well-designed ballpark. No seat feels far away.
1-2 to Carrig. Is rolled to the right side. Nishida charges in. And a light flip over to Philip Matulia at first base in time. One away. Carrig retired for the first time today. And now Fernando Gonzalez will hit for the first time. True to the name, at Dunkin' Donuts Park, there's a giant Dunkin' Donuts coffee cup rised above the large scoreboard in straightaway left. The on-deck circles are not on the ground right now. This is not a home game for the minor league team here. The first pitch to Fernando Gonzalez, a strike. But when they are out and being in use at Yard Goats home games, 0-1 to Gonzalez is fouled off right side, quickly 0-2. The on-deck circles are donuts. Sprinkles, pink frosting.
You a sprinkles guy?
From time to time. I'm a big old-fashioned donut guy. I feel like that's a bold take. Not a lot of people, I feel like, are proponents of the old-fashioned. 0-2 to Gonzalez, a fastball that misses high.
It's you and my dad, the only people I know who eat old-fashioned donuts.
See, I don't feel upset when I eat them, you know? They're not overly sweet. 1-2 is poked over first. The base hit for Gonzalez, heading towards the right field corner. Cut off by Sirota, well in front of the warning track. Gonzalez held to a single, but nice piece of hitting by Fernando. Gets aboard with one out, a single in his first at-bat off the bench.
See if that sparks something for the Whitey Red Sox.
Braden Montgomery now. A 9-0 game. The Red Sox have been held off the board by 3 different Hyannis pitchers. That's just the third YD hit. All 3 are singles. As we're working in the top of the 6th inning. Little past 1:30. We started at 11 a.m. First pitch to Montgomery is chopped up the middle. The shortstop Fields flips to second for one. Relay to first is a little bit late and a little off the bag. Comes Matulia. Safe on board is Braden Montgomery, but Dominic Patelli starting that fielder's choice play and recording the second out of the inning.
It feels like every time Whitey gets a hit, just end up halting all momentum. Carrig's hitting the first. Schliger grounded into a fielder's choice. Caden Connors hitting the fourth. Back-to-back strikeouts after him. And Fernando Gonzalez gets his 5th hit in 6 games, and Braden Montgomery immediately grounds into the fielder's choice.
Cade Connor had a single his last time. He'll try to work Montgomery through with 2 away. First one to Cape. It's fouled straight back. Red Sox got an early start today, as did we. We were on the road for Hartford around 6 in the morning. The Red Sox team bus left Yarmouth about 6:30. They hit some traffic on the way to the ballpark. There was an accident on the highway that set them back a half hour. No balls and a strike. Fastball that missed away. An 11 a.m. start time. About an 144 or so miles, at least from where we started. Down the road off Cape. So far out that we're in a different state. 1-1 to Caden Connor. This is down, a changeup.
We're in the insurance capital of the country.
And this ballpark wears that proudly. The Hartford Insurance Company, with their stag logo, is represented throughout the ballpark. They have the Hartford Terrace down the right field line. The 2-1 is fouled off, left side by Caden Connor. Above that Hartford Terrace in foul territory down the third baseline, there's a giant statue of the Hartford Insurance logo, which, like I said, is a large stag on a rock of some kind of sharp rock. How would you describe that, Carlo?
A boulder.
Looks a little small to be a boulder. 2-2 is lined out towards left center field. This ball's going to drop in front of McConnell, a base hit. Montgomery was moving the whole way. He's on his way to third. He arrives there safely in front of the throw. Caden Connor's got a 2-hit day, and the Red Sox have their first chance to score a run. First runner in scoring position in this game with runners on the corners and 2 out.
I feel like you got to get one here if you want any chance of coming back in this game. If Hunter Haas can bring Braden Montgomery home with 2 outs, Whitey can smile for the first time today. Haven't had much to smile at.
Hunter's got 2 strikeouts in his 2 trips, is mired in a 2-for-32 hole. His average has dipped below 220. An all-star for YD, but the bat has been quiet. And the first one to him, a swing and a miss, a fastball at 94 from Austin Strickland. He was about to throw his 60th pitch in relief, or so we think. The scoreboard still says Zach Volker's pitching, so we're not sure if Volker's inning is factored into Strickland's pitch count. 0-1. Check swinging a ball away, and he did not swing, says the field umpire Tim Reiner.
One thing to note, too, because you have the All-Star Day over the weekend, you have 2 days off, so pitchers can go a little longer because of the extra rest at the end of the weekend.
1 ball, 1 strike to Haas. Chopper towards the hole. Backhand stop by Patel. He goes to second for the force across his body and got it. That is an outstanding acrobatic throw by Dom Patelli deep in the shortstop hole. It was his only chance to get an out, and he gets it to end the inning. Red Sox got runners to the corners. Can't score in the 6th. Bottom half coming up. Hyannis leading YD by plenty. It's 9-0. No summer in Whitey Red Sox Nation would be complete without our youth baseball clinics, where boys and girls ages 5 and up can learn the game of baseball and the importance of sportsmanship. Kids get to master the fundamentals of the game and sharpen their skills in a fun baseball clinic taught by Coach Pickler and the future major leaguers on our roster. For more information, go to whiteyredsox.com/clinics. This year's youth baseball clinics are proudly sponsored by the Salty Dog Group of Keller Williams Realty, MP Sports Cards, and Giardino's Family Restaurant. The Whitey Red Sox and all the kids, thank you. Bottom half of the 6th, And if you had this one on your bingo card, well, congratulations. I think you just won. The Red Sox are throwing a position player on the mound in a 9-0 game. They're trailing the Hyannis Harbour Hawks here in Hartford, Connecticut at Dunkin' Donuts Park, the AA home of the Hartford Yargoats, the affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. And Dominic Freeberger, who we have listed as a position player, an outfielder out of UNC Asheville, who is transferring to UConn, will pitch for these YD Red Sox and make his YD debut. He was a reliever this year for UNC Asheville, made 11 appearances with a 3.09 ERA with 3 saves for UNC Asheville. In 11 2/3 innings, he struck out 14, walked 6. As a hitter, he hit .338, so a bit of a two-way star as an infielder and as a reliever for Asheville. Right-handed pitcher working Nicole McConnell, Jorge Corona, and Pancho Ruiz. First pitch to McConnell. It's a fastball at 93 miles an hour. It missed a little low. So this is a bit of a treat. We get to see Freeberger in a role that we weren't really sure we were going to get him in, because we weren't aware that he was going to pitch much for YD, but in a 9-0 game, Coach Pickler letting him get his arm a little loose. 1-0 to McConnell. Fouled straight back. McConnell today was hit by a pitch that really kicked things off in the first inning when the wheels started to come off for Eric Yost. He's also grounded out and hit a sacrifice fly. The All-Star starting center fielder on Saturday in Wareham will head there with 6 of his Hyannis teammates. Hyannis and YD both sending 7. 1-1. High fly ball in a left center field. Cole Carrick cutting across to his right. He makes the catch. As that one hangs up for Carrick in left center. The first out for Dominic Freeberger. Starts the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Jorge Corona as an RBI single in 3 trips. Right-hand hitting Corona against the right-handed pitching Freeberger. First pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. Freeberger we haven't seen hit yet, but he looks like a dead ringer really for Luke Schliger. Very similar aesthetics out on the mound. They're both not big guys, especially in terms of the hair. 0-1. Short arm motion, and delivers a fastball at 93 that misses a little up.
Well, if Freeberger can hit and get on base like Luke Schliger, the YD Red Sox would be thrilled. Luke leads the Cape in on-base percentage.
YD could certainly use another thumper in their line. 0-1. 1-1 is a check swing foul back to the net.
93 on that last fastball.
He's been throwing 93. His first warm-up pitch was 93, and my eyes nearly popped out of my skull. Not only it was a little bit of a surprise to see Freeberger in this game as a pitcher, but the fact that he can pump some cheddar, a little eye-opening. Red Sox might have found themselves a weapon on both sides of the ball. The 1-2 is hitting the air towards left center field. Hit fairly well. Homer Bush cutting towards the gap. It's Cole Carrick to make the catch a few steps in front of the warning track for the second out.
And that puts 2 guys on this team who can play from both sides. Brady Montgomery is in right field. Probably more of a starter, unlike the reliever Freeberger. But still, impressive stuff. If you can fill 2 positions with 1 spot in the lineup, that's always a plus.
Here's Pancho Ruiz, the DH. 0 for 2 with a walk. He scored a run. First one, right on right. Taken at the knees, a strike at 84, a slider from Freeberger. In 2021, Freeberger was an all Big South first team selection. And in his time for UNC Asheville in his 4 seasons, just finished his senior year, a 1 is popped up, shallow to center. Carrick charging in, loses the hat, has room, makes the catch. Cole Carrick puts away all 3 outs for Dominic Freeberger. Freeberger played in every single position, including pitcher, except for catcher in his time at UNC Asheville. A true utility guy, including on the mound for Asheville. We move on to the 7th. Cole Carrick, a busy inning, and the Red Sox trailing 9-0. Carlo Jimenez will take you home here in Hartford.
Fans, the Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game will be played on July 23rd at Spillane Field in Wareham. Tickets to see the top players in the league are only $5, and we have them at sale at Red Wilson Field. If you come attend the game in person, you can purchase All-Star Game tickets at the 50/50 shed or merchandise booth. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz welcoming you into the 7th inning here at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut, where we have a new pitcher for the 4th time today for the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. It's Wes Burton out of Oxford, Mississippi, attending Ole Miss, making his 8th appearance out of the pen this summer. Interesting thing that is developing here at Dunkin' Donuts Park is the temperature continues to increase. Right now, sitting at 95 degrees, but with the humidity outside, it feels like 101. And the trainer for the Whitey Red Sox coming out and talking to the Yard Goats. They're trying to figure out if they're going to continue to play this game or not. You got to imagine Whitey feels like they'd love to go home. But feels like 101, and hope you are enjoying some early brunch baseball that has moved into the afternoon. First pitch at 11. It's now 1:47 local time. Burton atop the mound. He faces the bottom of the lineup for the Whitey Red Sox, Johnny Long, Zach Liu, and Gunnar Antillian. But first, we will have a pinch hitter for Long. It's going to be Dominic Freeberg, who just sat down the top of the lineup in order, pitching for YD. And Freeberger, pinch hitter Dominic Freeberger, comes to the plate for Johnny Long. Zach Liu, Gunnar Antillian to follow. 7-8-9 for YD. 9-0. Hyannis leads the YD Red Sox, the top 2 teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and it has been one-sided. It's alrighty. Wes Burton kicks and deals. Freeberger takes the strike knee high. No balls and 1 strike to him. Burton, in his last outing, came at Orleans. Here comes the 0-1. Swinging a line looper into center field, a base hit. Dominic Freeberger, after sitting him down in order in the bottom of the 6th, picks up a knock, his first of the summer. Freeberger, and that brings in Zach Bean, another right-handed hitter.
All right.
There you go. Have yourself
the Red Sox, Dominic Freeberger.
Yeah, have yourself a day. Freeberger at first. Here's the right-handed bat of Zach Liu. 9-0 Hyannis, top 7. Opening Godfrey. Fastball well above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Freeberger stole just one base with the Frederick Keys of the MLB Draft Leagues. Not a huge base stealing threat over there at first. Burton sets atop the third base side of the rubber. 1-0. Fastball at 88 above the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Infield at double play depth for Zach Lou, who's still looking for his first hit as a Whitey Red Sox. Although, unlike Freeberger, this is not his first at-bat. Lou in his 18th at-bat. Open stance, left foot in front of the right. Here comes the 2-0. Lou takes. Ball 3 above the zone. 89 on the fastball. 3 balls and no strikes. Carlo Jimenez alongside Sam Lebowitz in what feels like 101 degrees. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday morning into the afternoon with us. 3-0. Lou takes a fastball low. 4-pitch walk to Zach Lou. 2 on and nobody out, and maybe the makings of an offensive inning for this Whitey Red Sox team, Sam.
Don't look now.
Here's Gunnar Antillian.
There's no time, there's no clock on this sport. Obviously, 9-0 is a long way to come back here in the top of the 7th inning, but if there's ever a sport you can come back from this far down, it's baseball. And the Red Sox with 9 outs to play with, down 9 runs, a good start here in the 7th.
You can at least play to not be shut out. 9-hole hitter Antillian looks in. First pitch from Burton. He swings, ropes one into left field, a base hit. Getting the stop sign at third is Freeberger. Bases are loaded. Gunnar Antillian has his first hit as a Whitey Red Sox. And here's Homer Bush Jr. with 3 ducks on the pond. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. It's 9-0 Hyannis. But with one swing of the bat, Homer Bush Jr. could technically make this a 5-run game. Bush without a home run this summer, without an extra base hit this summer. He's 0 for 3 today. Had 2 home runs at Grand Canyon this past spring.
Just got to keep the line moving, Carlo. That's really the name of the game. Is any way you can find yourself aboard is what you want, what you need, really.
Opening offering to the right-handed batter. He swings and misses at an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. No balls and 1 strike. The sun still high in the sky. Barely any clouds over Dunkin' Donuts Park. Kids are in lines ready to hop on their buses and go home. They did not expect what is on pace for a 3.5, 4-hour game. So they're headed back to camp. 0-1. Bush takes a changeup low. 1 ball, 1 strike. I was walking the concourse, Sam, in between innings, and everybody was kind of hanging out in the shade. One kid had a binder full of Pokemon cards he was showing everybody while drinking water.
Don't they know that Pokemon in the Park was yesterday at Red Wilson Field?
That's a great point. 1-1. Homer Bush Jr. fights off a fastball as he lifts it down the right field line and foul.
Out of the ballpark.
1-2.
The way this ballpark is situated, the Red Sox and Harbor Hawks, if they pop a foul back, straight back really, they can get it up over the concourse and lift it out onto the street here in Hartford.
Freeberger at third, Lou at second, and Antillian at first. Bases loaded, nobody out, top 7. 1-2. Homer Bush Jr. pokes one first base side. The first baseman Matulia goes to second for 1. No turn from the shortstop Batelli. Scoring on the play is Freeberger, and the Whitey Red Sox are on the board in the top of the 7th inning. It's 9-1. Hyannis leads Whitey on the RBI groundout from Homer Bush Jr. He reaches on the fielder's choice.
A nice job by Homer to just poke the bat out. Might not have gotten hit, but getting the run home there, ensuring that the team's not shut out, helps the run differential just a little bit, but also keeps the line moving because you got his speed aboard at first base. I'm sure Hyannis really doesn't care if he swipes second base and keeps this rally going a little bit more for YD.
Bush leads at first, 7 stolen bases for him. Here's the switch-hitting lefty Cole Carrick. First pitch, Carrick takes a fastball high. In the count, 1 ball and no strikes. And Sam, if you're this YD team and you're Cole Carrick at the plate, what is the approach? Is it just try to get aboard, try to hit the extra base hit to bring home 2?
Just work from ahead in the count, which he's going to do. It's 1-0, but
1-0.
Line drive someone.
Fastball misses above the zone. 2 balls, no strikes with Lou at third, Homer Bush Jr. at first. Zach Lou with not
fantastic speed, so Carrick would need to hit one pretty deep in the outfield. We haven't seen Christian Moore's arm in left. Sorota's got a pretty good one in right. Connell an average arm in center. Runners at the corners, 1 out, top 7, 9-1 Hyannis leads. 2 up. Carrick takes above the zone. Curveball. And the count, 3 balls and no strikes. A walk would load him up for Fernando Gonzalez.
Wes Burton, a fan of Chipotle.
Big fan, although not a traditional eater of Chipotle.
No, he was not. The Cape Cod League media team mic'd him up earlier this season.
3-0, ball 4 above the zone. Another curveball that can't find the strike zone, and the base is loaded again. On to second goes Homer Bush Jr. On to first is Cole Carrick, and Eric Beatty wants to go talk to his pitcher. Fernando Gonzalez is due up.
So they mic'd him up, right, Carlo?
I gotcha.
Pre-game, I believe it was a home game for Hyannis, and he orders Chipotle, or brings Chipotle to the ballpark, right? Because he's hungry, obviously.
That's a great pregame meal, too.
Athletes got to eat, yeah. Loaded with carbohydrates and protein.
Yep.
Good fuel for competing. The only problem for Wes Burton is he didn't have a full. So what did he do? He took the tinfoil cover that you get with your Chipotle bowl.
Yeah.
And he kind of funneled it into a spoon and fed himself Chipotle with the tin that covers the bowl. Creative.
Creative, innovative. Wes Burton, a problem solver, should we say. Right now, he's trying to solve a problem with 1 out and the bases loaded, 9-1. Hyannis leads YD, the top team in the Eastern Division, the YD Red Sox, against the best team in the Western Division, the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. Possibly a preview of a championship down the line. A long time between now and then, but Fernando Gonzalez, the right-handed batter, digs in a single down the right field line his last time up. Lou at third, Bush at second, Carrick at first. Opening offering is a fastball that paints the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike from Wes Burton. Fernando Gonzalez really swinging the bat well as of late, Sam. Hits in 6 of his last 7 games. He's been fantastic. A defensive catcher for YD. 0-1, he cranks one back to the screen, foul. Another fastball, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. You feel like with the speed of Bush and Carrick at second and first, with 22 stolen bases among them, something into the gap could clear the bases and make this a 5-run game. 0-2. Gonzalez fights off a fastball, low and away as he carves it down the right field line. Fans have pretty much left Dunkin' Donuts Park. It was all campers, and well, it's time to be picked up by their parents. School buses, we can see the road underneath the Hartford Terrace straight away in foul territory down the right field line. It's just school bus after school bus after school bus. 0-2. Gonzalez takes a ball in the dirt. Curveball can't find the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fernando's got a big dirt mark on the left side of his pants from sliding into second his last time up in the 6th. He was out on the part of a fielder's choice by Braden Montgomery. Bases loaded, 1 out, 1-2, 9-1. Hyannis leads YD. The 1-2 home. Gonzalez takes low. Fastball below the knees. Just atop the shoe tops of Fernando. And they count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sorry, Carlo. Burton is all arms and legs coming at you. 6'8" out of Ole Miss. Only about 235 pounds, so he's lean.
2-2. Gonzalez takes ball 3. Fastball misses inside. Gonzalez lunges back, reaches the hands up, trying to sell it a little more. Full count. Bases loaded, 1 out, 9-1 Hyannis. Pivotal point in this game. Can the YD Red Sox start the long climb back in this game? 3-2. Gonzalez fights off a fastball, pops it up behind home plate, and it lands just 4 or 5 rows foul. A couple fans try to lunge at it, but didn't really have a chance. There are some fans who have stayed here in Hartford, Connecticut, 144 miles from Red Wilson. 11 o'clock first pitch. We're a minute away from hour 3 in the top of the 7th. Bases loaded, 3-2. Gonzalez takes, ball 4 high, and walks home a run. Fernando Gonzalez reaches for the second time. Lou collects the base, passes go, and Eric Beatty might be going to his bullpen. It is now 9-2. Whitey with back-to-back runs and an opportunity for Brady Montgomery, who had a solo home run to center yesterday. Another one of those, Sam, could make this a 3-run game. We're going to step aside and come right back. Top of the 7th, the base is loaded, the plot thickening here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. We welcome you back to Whitey Red Sox baseball here at the Cape Cod Broadcast Network, where things are getting interesting maybe here at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford, Connecticut. 2 teams off the Cape two teams on the Cape coming off the Cape about 100 miles to play in the Cape Cod Classic here in the home of the Hartford Yard Goats. And it's a new pitcher on the mound, Tommy O'Rourke out of Stanford. He'll face his teammate, Brady Montgomery, the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Bases are loaded, 2 runs already in for YD. They've cut a 9-0 lead to 9-2. And Sam, Brady Montgomery, who's been swinging the bat better than anybody else with runners in scoring position, in his 7 games, 7 RBIs, he has a chance for more.
Montgomery's got as much raw power as just about anyone on this YD roster. We saw some of it on display yesterday at home. See what he can do here with the sacks full.
Switch hitting from the left side. First pitch from the righty. He swings and misses, chasing a slider. Big hack from Montgomery brings him to his knees, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. It's Bush at third, Carey gets second, Gonzalez at first. Fantastic speed at first and second for these YD Red Sox. 0-1. Swinging a foul down the right field line over towards the YD dugout. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Montgomery, who's still searching for his first hit today. Guy who set the freshman record in home runs, 18, past Paul Carey, who had 12 35 years prior. Bases juiced, 1 out, top 7. Can Montgomery shift the momentum to the Whitey Red Sox? The 0-2, and he swings and lifts one down the left field line, hooking foul. Giving it a chase, the left fielder Christian Moore. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. We step into hour 3 of this one. It started at 11 a.m. local time. Both teams left from their home stadiums at 6 in the morning to play this game in Hartford, Connecticut.
who will take a happy bus ride home. Right now, looks like it's Hyannis. 0-2. Fastball at the knees. Strike 3 call. Montgomery strikes out. Looking, O'Rourke picks up the second out of the top of the 7th. And now it's up to Caden Connor, who's 2 for 3 today, to keep the line moving with 2 outs. Big strikeout there from Tommy O'Rourke.
It's a big batter to set aside and kind of dispels the comeback notions for YD. Not entirely. Again, we were talking earlier this inning about how there's no clock on the sport of baseball, but getting the second out and setting aside one of the bigger threats in this YD order will go a long way for getting O'Rourke through this jam that he inherited.
In stands the left-handed bat of Caden Connor. Opening offering 2. He takes a fastball that misses off the outer edge, 92 on the radar gun. 9 runs for Hyannis, all came in the first 3 frames. YD with 2 here in the top of the 7th, with 2 outs and the bases loaded, looking for more. Caden Connor is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Bat twirls off his left shoulder. 1-0, he swings and golfs one on the infield, left side, shortstop Patelli going back, shading the sun with his glove. He makes the catch in shallow center. 2 come across on 2 hits, 3 left on, and YD cuts the lead to 7, but Tommy O'Rourke keeps the mess at just 2. We'll be right back here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network, bottom of the 7th, coming your way. Fans of all ages, come join us this Thursday for autograph night right here at Red Wilson Field. After the game, we have autograph stations set up so that you can meet the players and have them sign baseball, bat, or other item. Anything you want. It's a new pitcher atop the mound for the YD Red Sox. His name is Cole Keurig, taking over for Dominic Freeberg, another position player atop the mound for YD. First time we've seen Keurig pitch this summer. He has pitched in the past at San Diego State. Defensive changes. Mike Bovey is at third for YD. Freeberger moves to shortstop. Antillian moves to shortstop. And on at second.
Zach Lou is at second. So I think I've got it.
Okay, give it to me.
All right.
Because I'm confused.
So Freeberger moves from the mound to first base.
Okay.
Caden Connor moves from the mound from first base to left field.
All right.
Homer Bush moves from left field to center field.
Okay.
Cole Keurig moves from center field to the pitcher's mound.
Got it.
Mike Bovey enters the game for Hunter Haas. He'll play third base.
Okay.
Gunnar Antillian was playing second base. He'll play shortstop. Zach Lou had been playing third base. He will play second base.
All right. So what you're telling me is my scorecard looks like a mess.
Yes.
100%.
As will mine in a moment.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, the only 2 players who were exactly where they were prior to this inning are Braden Montgomery in right and Fernando Gonzalez behind home plate.
Nice. Nice. The Scott Pickler special.
Getting his guys in.
Cole Keurig pitching for the first time this summer as he stands atop the mound, a utility player who said he wished to play all 9 positions before the summer ended. Well, he's ticking them off the list time and time again. I believe Sammy hasn't played first base.
Hasn't caught yet in the game.
And hasn't caught, but that's it. He pitched
in 2021 at San Diego State. 2 appearances and an inning in the third. 2 runs, none of them earned in the 8 batters he faced. Right-handed pitcher faces the lefty Dominic Patelli, who swings at the first pitch, loops it into shallow center field. 3 Whitey Red Sox come together. Homer Bush Jr. says, "I got it," and the center fielder makes the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Cole Carrick. Here's Christian Moore, the 7-hole hitter. Philip Matulia, the 8-hole hitter, follows him. 9-2. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks lead the Whitey Red Sox. Bottom of the 7th inning. And what has become an empty Dunkin' Donuts Park. First pitch, and the right-handed batter takes a strike at the knees on the curve.
Cole Carrick showing off a little off-speed pitch. Not just heaters. I do want to see what he tops out on the mound.
0-1. Swing and a looper again into shallow left center. Homer Bush says, "Thank you very much." Center fielder collects a couple of slow fly balls, dying ducks, should you call them, into center field. And Cole Carrick on 3 pitches has 2 outs. Guess it really doesn't matter how you get them out. Philip Matulia, left-handed batter, digs in. Whitey looking for back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings from position players. Bottom of the 7th, 9-2. Hyannis leads YG. Carrick working from the first base side of the rubber. Looks towards Philip Matulia with the stirrups on, although his pants are over his stirrups. First pitch, left-handed batter rolls it on the ground. Right side of the infield, scooped up deep at second base. Zach Liu throws to first in time for the out. Cole Carrick just threw 4 pitches and sat down 3 batters. And the position players for the Whitey Red Sox have retired 6 in a row. Hope you didn't blink. That does it for the bottom of the 7th. Top of the 8th coming up. Tommy O'Rourke jogs back out there for Hyannis. It is 9-2. The Harbor Hawks lead Whitey. Be sure to wear red to the field on Friday if you join us for Red Shirt Friday as we honor another Cape Cod hero. I'm Carlo Jimenez. To my left is Sam Lebowitz.
Keeping it loose.
Keeping it loose. One of the the reads for the broadcast. A new one, a little short. Scott Pickler is going to talk to Eric Beatty. And the official score is being talked to by Scott Pickler.
I think he's just getting the rundown of the changes in the lineup.
Hey, good luck. Being official scorer in a Scott Pickler game is a nightmare. Well, we'll get you to them as they come. Mike Bovey begins things in the top of the 8th, 9-2. Hyannis leads YD here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. First pitch to lefty is a fastball away. In the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Bovey, who came in to pinch hit yesterday, 1-0-2, and he takes a fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Put down a sacrifice bunt that ended up being monumental. And the Red Sox come back in the 9th against the Harwich Mariners. They were down 7-5, able to push across 2 runs. 2 up. Bovey slices one foul down the left field line. 2 balls and a strike. Polar Dunkin' Donuts Park is pretty much empty. It is still really hot. Feels like 98 according to my weather app.
Too warm if you ask me. 2-1 to Bovey. And he pokes one over the head of the first baseman, Matula, down the right field line. All the way into the corner. Mike digging for second. The ball bounces around. Sirota finally gets to it. His throw in cut off by Nishida. A leadoff double for Mike Bovey. Nice to have you, Barrel, as he begins the top of the 8th.
Well, Barrel Mike's been a little bit banged up, but he banged that baseball in the right field corner. Welcome back, Barrel. Good to have you, like you said, Carlo. Red Sox can use that extra presence in their lineup if he's finally back and healthy and that finger injury is settled. And if that's any sign, the fact that he pinch hit yesterday and getting into this game and staying back on that off-speed pitch and just poking it for a double, it's a good sign.
To the ready, Dominic Freeberger, who comes out swinging, lifts the first pitch into center. Can of corn for the center fielder McConnell. He makes the catch. Freeberger, after picking up his first hit in his first at-bat in the 7th, flies out to center in his second as a Whitey Red Sox. And here's Zach Liu with a runner at second and 1 out. 9-2, Hyannis leads. We are in the top of the 8th inning. 2.5 hours from home here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. It's the Cape Cod Classic, and it's been anything but a classic ball game. Open stance for Liu. First pitch to him. He takes a fastball away. 1 ball and no strikes. Flags are blowing out to right center. Hyannis and YD, the top team in the Eastern Division in the Whitey Red Sox, the top team in the Western Division in the Hyannis Harbour Hawks. But it hasn't seemed like that today. 1-0. Liu swings and foul, tips one into the glove of the catcher Corona. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Sam, is it a concern for this Whitey Red Sox team that as a pitching staff they've given up 16 runs over the last 2 games?
I don't think so. This one feels purely circumstantial to me.
1-1, fastball nicks the outer edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes, about mid-thigh on Zach Liu.
I think that things just kind of got away from Eric Yost. Given the early wake-up call, the long bus ride over, the hot weather.
1-2, Liu chops one on 2 hops, charging the shortstop Patelli. He gloves it on the short hop, fires across the diamond to first for the second out.
Given all of that, I don't think that you can really put too much stock into this game if you're YD. Frankly, you just can kind of come back out tomorrow and reset. I think that's the most important thing to do. Treat today as an exhibition, as a non-canon day. This one counts in the record books, but if you're YD, you can't dwell on it too much.
Opening offering to the right end of bat of Gunnar Attilian is a fastball above the zone. Runner at second is Mike Bovey. As always, Mike on the base pass, holding his batting gloves in his right hand. Top of the 8th, 2 outs, 9-2. Hyannis leads Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, 1-0. And Tillian fouls a fastball back to the screen. In the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gunnar with a single back in the 7th.
Red Sox get Drew Dowd on the mound. Tough task on hand with the Katuitt Kettleers, who are right up there at the top of the West with Hyannis.
A 1-1 down the hill. And Tillian looks. It's strike 2 at the knees. 94. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. A leadoff double by Bovey. He's watched 2 of his teammates go down in order. Tommy O'Rourke trying to work around the hit. 1-2. And Tillian looks at ball 2. Just off the outer edge. Fastball can't find the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Doesn't get much easier for YD. They're playing 5 straight Western Division opponents starting today. And that includes 2 against Katuitt, who's been the best team on Cape up until yesterday record-wise. 2-2. And Tillian stays alive as he fights off a changeup down the third base line towards the Hyannis dugout. There's pretty much no fans in the lower bowl here, maybe 15 or 20 so. A lot on the concourse. A game that started full of campers. Well, it's time to pick up the campers. 2:18 local time. We started at 11. 2 outs, runner at second, and 2-2 count. The pitch. And Tillian rakes one down the right field line, curling away from the right fielder, Sirota. It drops for a base hit. Bovey on a jog. Steps on the plate at home. He scores on an RBI single from Gunnar Antillian. Back-to-back innings with hits for Gunnar. That one for an RBI. And all of a sudden, YD trims the lead again. It's 9-3. Hyannis leads.
Just a nice piece of inside-out hitting. Ball kind of down and in. Got the bat head to it and carved down the right field line. Nice approach there by Antillian with 2 out. Finding some real estate and driving home a run.
Here's Homer Bush Jr., right-handed batter with Antillian at first. O'Rourke deals, Bush looks. At a fastball that misses well inside. It was just to the right of that belt buckle of Homer Bush Jr. Red Sox have put 3 in the back 3 innings on the board, 2 in the 7th, 1 here in the top of the 8th. 2 outs, Antillian at first, 1-1. Bush looks at a fastball at the top of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sam, when Gunnar Antillian takes his lead from first, he shakes back and forth, moving his hands opposite his body. I don't know if you're familiar with the flaw stance, but it almost looks like he's half doing that move. 1-1 to Bush. He swings, lifts one into right center field. That's a base hit. Antillian hits the bag at second. He'll dig for third. The throw in from the right fielder, Sirota, is wide, and runners to the corners with 2 outs. A big fly here from Cole Carrig, and this is a 3-run game as one of the best power hitters in this lineup digs in. Bush at first, his first hit of the day. Antillian at third.
Nice little line drive piece for Homer Bush. Extends his hitting streak to 7 games. It's so probably what's going to wind up being his last at bat.
If the YD Red Sox want to win, it probably can't be. Switch hitter from the left side. Carrig looks at a first pitch change up away. 2 balls and a strike. 1 ball and no strikes. Hyannis led 9-0 through 3 frames. And maybe a 2-out rally brewing here for the YD Red Sox. Mike Bovee doubled down the right field line. Then Freeberger and Lou went down on a fly at the center and a ground out to short. Antillian singled down the right field line, and Homer Bush Jr. with a single to right center. Tommy O'Rourke has given up back-to-back hits, and Cole Carrig with another can add another tally on the board for YD. If anything, Sam, this has to give these hitters confidence going into tomorrow against Katuitt. 1 ball and no strikes to Carrig, the pitch. Fastball misses low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Cole Carrig has been the best hitter for this YD team as of late. In his last 4 games, he has 7 hits. Bush at first, the 1-0. Carrig bounces one up the middle. Patelli gloves it. The shortstop ranges to second, goes the short way, and cuts off Homer Bush Jr. That's going to do it for the 8th. The Red Sox push a run across. They leave 2 stranded on 2 hits. And to the bottom of the frame we go. 9-3. Hyannis leads YD. We welcome you back to YD Red Sox baseball here at Dunkin' Donuts Park. in Hartford, Connecticut, our first and only trip to Dunkin' Donuts Park in the Cape Cod Classic, 150 miles from Retta Wilson Field. If you thought things couldn't get messier in your scorebook, you thought wrong. A new pitcher on the mound for the Whitey Red Sox. It's Braden Montgomery, the third straight position player pitching today, although Montgomery of the last two, the most two-way guy, should we say, traditional two-way guy rather than Freeberger and Carrig.
Freeberger, had his 11 relief outings as a two-way guy for UNC Nashville. Carrig was purely out there to have a little bit of fun, had his quick inning. Montgomery is a guy that scouts seem to think might have as much of a future on the mound as he does in the field as an offensive player. He's up to the mid-90s with his fastball. He's got some good stuff. And with Stanford this year, Montgomery got into 15 games, started 3 times, only threw 18 and 2/3 innings total, but struck out 28 batters in that span. The walks are an issue. He did walk 21 guys. So after his freshman season, we're excited to get a chance to see him on the mound. He told us when he got here he didn't know if he'd play the field, but he knew he'd hit and he knew he'd pitch. He has played right field every game the Red Sox have played since he got here. But
in terms of defensive changes, it's Cole Carrig in center. Caden Connor moves from left to right, and Homer Bush Jr. is back in left. We feel very bad for the official score today. It has not been a fun day to officially score this game. Bottom of the 8th inning, 9-2. Hyannis leads YD as we inch towards the end at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Braden Montgomery, the right-handed pitcher out of Stanford, on the mound, moving from right field to the mound. The shift in the outfield is on heavy against Riku Nishida. It's the 9-1-2 hitters opening offering to the lefty. Fastball at 96 misses up and away. The right fielder, Caden Connor, is playing all the way in right center field. The center fielder, Cole Carrig, is playing in left center. First 1-0 to Riku Nishida. Misses away. 2 balls and no strikes. Base is empty. Nobody out. 9-3 Hyannis leads at YD. 2-0. Fastball misses above the zone. 2 balls and a strike. A sunny day. Temperatures have hit a high of 95 here at Dunkin' Donuts Park in a fantastic venue. 2-1, check swing, strike on the outside part of the plate. 96 from Braden Montgomery. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Red Sox have picked up 3 runs in the back half. Here's Montgomery's 3-1. Fastball at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Riku Nishida. Getting crossed up by the scoreboard out in right center. Feels like 3-2 is the count. According to home plate umpire Jeff Merzell, who, if you didn't join us, didn't start as the home plate umpire today. 3-2 down the hill. Montgomery blows him by with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and Nishida foul taps it into the glove of Gonzalez. First strikeout this summer for Braden Montgomery. And there's 1 out with the bases empty. 9-3. Hyannis leads YD. The position players for the Red Sox, well, they've done the best pitching here today. Opening offering to the lefty, Mitch Jebb, who swings and lifts one into left field on a line. The left fielder, Homer Bush Jr., cuts it off. And Jebb looks like he won't have a chance at that cycle. A single, a double, and a triple in his first 3 at-bats. There's now 2 outs. Base is empty. And a 9-3 Hyannis lead. The best teams on Cape going at it. And a pinch hitter, Rocco Pepe, pinch hits for Mike Sirota with 2 outs in the 8th. Right-handed hitter. First pinch hitter for the Harbor Hawks. Montgomery kicks and deals. Pepe swings, grounds 1 foul, third base side. And Sam, it feels like this Whitey Red Sox team is going to have to wait another day to try to figure out Hyannis. 1-1 coming into today and in a 6-run hole in the bottom of the 8th.
None of those games really normal games.
0-1, a strike on the outside part of the plate on the curveball at 83. There's one bright spot. Brandon Montgomery is filthy. 96 on the fastball. And he's looking for a 1-2-3 frame as he faces Rocco Pepe. Here comes his 0-2. Swing and a looper in on the hands. Leaping the shortstop, Antillion. And he makes the catch on the backhand in the outfield grass. Brandon Montgomery goes 1, 2, 3. 9 in a row retired by the YD pitchers who are all position players. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Can the Red Sox get 6 runs? This game's been crazy enough. Find out next. We welcome you back to Whitey Red Sox baseball here on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. It is the top of the 9th inning, and the Hyannis Harbour Hawks lead the Whitey Red Sox by a score of 9-3. Hyannis leads 3 outs to win their 2nd of the summer against the Whitey Red Sox. A lot larger of a task looming for the Whitey Red Sox. They need 6 runs. Right in the bat, Fernando Gonzalez looks in. First pitch from O'Rourke. Gonzalez swings and misses at a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. If you're just joining us, I don't even know where to begin. This game really started, it feels like at 6 a.m. when everybody from both these teams, 0-1, Gonzalez takes a strike at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes on the fastball. Woke up, got on a bus, and took the 2.5-hour drive here to Hartford, Connecticut, and Dunkin' Donuts Park for the Cape Cod Classic. 0-2 to Gonzalez. And he swings and chops one left side of the infield. Patelli taking his time, gloves letters high, looks at the ball, thinks about it, and guns to first. There's the first out at the top of the 9th. So we all get here around 8:39 after 3 hours on the road. And things are going smoothly. The game begins, and 9 come to the plate in the bottom of the first for Hyannis. They take a 4-0 lead. Whitey goes quietly in the top of the 2nd. Hyannis adds 2 more. In the bottom of the inning, they go up 6-0, and the Harbour Hawks add 3 more in the ensuing inning, as there's the first pitch to the left-handed bat of Brandon Montgomery, switch hitting, batting from the left side. Fastball misses away, 1 ball and no strikes. So it's 9-0 through 3. We get midway through the 3rd, 1-0. Montgomery takes a fastball high, 94, 2 balls and no strikes. And then, in 100-degree weather, home plate umpire Rudy Firmbach cannot continue, dealing with the heat he could not handle. And we have a 25-minute delay due to an umpire change. So we take that delay. Here comes a 2-0 to Montgomery, and he swings and fights off a fastball, fouls it back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. And come back, and things move pretty quietly then. A quick 3 frames, neither team scoring. And after the Whitey Red Sox are able to push 2 across in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, it's now a 9-3 Hyannis lead. Top of the 9th with nobody out, with 1 out. 2-1, and Montgomery taps one back to the screen. The Whitey Red Sox take on the Katuitt Cavaliers tomorrow in what will be a big game for Whitey, trying to avoid losing 2 in a row for the 3rd time this summer. O'Rourke doesn't like the first sign, peeking over the top of his black glove. Here's the 2-2. Montgomery swings and misses, and the Red Sox down to their final strike. There's the second strikeout for Tommy O'Rourke out of Stanford. He has struck out 2. It's been Brady Montgomery twice. And in stands Caden Connor. Caden Connor, a left-handed batter, who, while it might not be the prettiest day for YD, he hasn't had an awful afternoon. 2 hits on 4 at-bats. Dunkin' Donuts Park has been kind to us. Observing the beautiful ballpark for the Hartford Yardgoats. First pitch to the lefty, Caden Connor. Fastball misses off the outer edge. 1 ball and no strikes. Hyannis, who has scored, if they end up securing this final out, 48 runs over their last 5 wins. A lot of offense for the Harbor Hawks. 1-0. Change up, drops in. 1 ball, 1 strike to Caden Connor. Both these teams ready to take the journey back home and reset for tomorrow. And there's a baseball on the field. In left field, first base umpire Tom Reiner noticing it, points it out. But a slugfest today. We are pushing 3 hours and 30 minutes. Guess if you're only going to come to Hartford once, you might as well get all of it.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah, we've done exactly that. Although we didn't pay anything except gas to get here. 1-1. Curveball high. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Red Sox have 2 more at home before the All-Star break, and you don't want to stumble into the All-Star break during the Cape League season because there's only 2 weeks left after it. Here's the 2-1 down the hill. Caden Connor golfs one back behind home plate that flies over the netting foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count to him. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to him. 9-3, Hyannis leads YD. The rest of the Cape gets going at 5 o'clock in about 2.5 hours. If you're still with us, truly a loyal YD listener. Caden Connor waves the bat belt high, the man who's never not smiling, still with a smile smeared on his face. O'Rourke stares in. 2-2 down the hill. Caden Connor tags one, shallow left field, coming in the left fielder Moore. He makes the catch and ends the ball game. The Hyannis Harbour Hawks dominate from the get-go and win a marathon 2.5 hours from Cape Cod. 9-3, Hyannis takes down YD as they hand the Red Sox their 9th loss of the summer. YD will take on Katuitt tomorrow at 5 and try to reset. Sam, before we get out of here and head on home, your final thoughts from what was a rough one if you're the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox falling in embarrassing fashion here in Hartford, Connecticut.
Well, the Red Sox had circumstances against them, obviously, with the early start time today and the hot weather, the bus getting a car accident on the way in and arriving 30 minutes later. You wonder if that messed with Eric Yost's schedule, but at the end of the day, the Red Sox really didn't show up much. They did have the 8 hits on the board with 3 late runs, but it was much too little too late. After Yost faltered early, Matt Cavanaugh had trouble holding this game as close as he could, gave up 3 of his own in the 3rd inning. Good job by the Red Sox bullpen to keep it there. 5 consecutive scoreless innings from the 3rd inning onward, but again, too little too late. The Red Sox just really didn't have the energy behind them today. The pitching wasn't good early, and that sunk them. When you look at this game, you just think about it as something to move on from. You can't dwell on it too much. It's kind of a game that you hope is an aberration. 2.5 hours of travel time, an early wake-up call for these players to be on the road around 6:30, and the hot weather, the hottest weather the Red Sox have played in this summer, up at 100 degrees or so. You deal with it, you take the loss, you have your bus ride home, but get a good night's sleep, come back ready to play another good baseball team tomorrow and forget about this one.
We will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock first pitch. Sam Lebowitz will have the call for what is hopefully a new day in Whitey Red Sox baseball. A marathon here in Hartford, Connecticut, and the Whitey Red Sox fall to the Hyannis Harbour Hawks by a score of 9-3. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a safe rest of your day, everybody.